Only a year old and beautiful. Crowley ISD Stadium, the host tonight, 8,000 seats. And you can bet most of them will be full very soon for a matchup of district foes. Euless Trinity and number 10 North Crowley in a game that may just decide the district champion this year in 3-6A on Friday Night Football. And with that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here in Fort Worth, Crowley ISD's brand new and beautiful stadium, just second year of this building, and host to a big football game tonight, Heckma Harrison, between two teams that figure to be two of the top three teams anyway within their district. These two and Crowley High School, the three that figure to contend this year for a district championship in 3-6A.
And the other narrative for tonight is if you love coaches, I'm telling you, these two coaches on the sidelines are two great guys. Aaron Weaver for the Euless Trinity Trojans, great guy in his second season. Last name carries a lot of weight around Euless Trinity. But my other guy on the other side for North Crowley, and that is Mr. Coach Ray Gates, a guy that when we talk to him, I'll tell you one of the greatest, best conversations that we've had so far with the coach. One of these guys that just oozes confidence, but also just talks glowingly about his team and what he's putting together in Crowley, and you can tell by the numbers.
Last year, these two teams played a close football game, 28-20 at the start of the fourth quarter in favor of North Crowley. Panthers ended up pulling away and winning that football game, but we expect this one to be tight once again. And we expect for Euless Trinity to run the football, which gets us to our players to watch for tonight. The Trinity Trojans running back Josh Bell, wearing number 20, the second leading rusher in North Texas. Heckma, this kid can tote the rock.
Yeah, he is exceptional. One of those kids that is built from the ground up, and that is built the right way. He ain't missing leg day at all, but those numbers you really give you the story. 747, 9 tutties. He's a guy that's going to pound that rock, good in between the tackles guy, but also has enough speed to bend it outside. For Euless Trinity, they want to muddy the water. They want to make this a good old slugfest, and they're going to do it behind running the ball with this guy.
You may have seen the numbers there against Flower Mound Marcus a couple weeks ago. 357 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. Kid had himself a night. Meanwhile, for North Crowley, they can put up points too. How about 60+ a game, led by this young man, Chris Jimerson, their quarterback, who's already starting to stockpile the scholarship offers. 30 combined touchdowns a year ago. This one a couple weeks, though, against Lovejoy, Heckma, was pretty special.
Yeah, this is where you start to separate yourself as an athlete, cutting back across the field with the speed to also get into the end zone. Jimerson is just one of those special athletes. He's electrifying, a guy that's been in this system for already 3 years. And look, they get behind him, his leadership, but also the fact that play right there, man, is just tip of the iceberg of what this kid can do.
He's a threat to throw the football, and they've got some talent on the outside for him to throw the ball too, but he is very clearly a threat to take off and run with the ball as well. This is a game that is a matchup of strength on strength. We told you about Euless Trinity's running back, Josh Bell. He's running behind an offensive line that is enormous, which is not out of the ordinary for Euless Trinity, but enormous. They can move some bodies around and they can run the football. The top rushing offense in North Texas early on this season. But North Crowley can stop the run, the number 2 rushing defense in the area early on this season. So it's going to be a test of wills between those two units.
No, absolutely. And they say styles make fights, and that's why number 1 and number 2 in rushing and in stopping the run is so it's going to be paramount in this game. But I think if you're Euless Trinity, you know how explosive that offense is of North Crowley. How do you keep them on the sideline? You run the ball, okay? And so that is modus operandi for them. They want to try and make this a slugfest. And like Mike Tyson said, one of his famous quotes is, hey, everybody has a plan until they get hit in the mouth. And that's what Euless Trinity plans on doing, hitting them in the mouth. And they're going to have to do it if they pull out a victory today.
So when they played a year ago, again, tight football game, 28-20 in favor of North Crowley going to the fourth quarter. Panthers scored 2 touchdowns in the final frame to broaden the margin a little bit, 42-20, the final score in that football game. I think it's fair to say North Crowley is a better football team now than they were a year ago, but I think you can say the same about Euless Trinity as well.
No, that goes both ways. And so in that game, they came in with the same approach. Got to run the ball, and you saw North Crowley run away late. I don't know that they changed that formula.
Yep.
I think it's a matter of being able to stick with it, and all of that's going to be contingent on them staying ahead of the chains, and also converting and getting points in the red zone. You have to score with North Crowley. If you don't, they skunk you. Pretty bad.
They are truly averaging 60 points per game. They won week 1 against Sam Houston 69-13. They won week 2 against Arlington 69-14. They played a very good Lovejoy team who they trailed early on in that football game pretty significantly. Lightning delay stopped everything down. They came back after the lightning delay and put it on Lovejoy, won that game 43-20. And then last week in their district opener against Pascal, hung 63 on Pascal and shut him out. So yeah, you're going to need to score if you want to hang with this North Crowley football team. You mentioned the coaches, such an intrinsic piece of this football game and the story of these two programs, what Ray Gates has done in 2 years' time. This is a North Crowley program that frankly wasn't very good for an extended period of time. And just like that, he has turned this program into a power. 12-1 last year, going to the regional semis, 4-0 to start this year, and up to 10th in the rankings.
And what he said, and he really attributed to just the energy and belief in these kids. He said, hey, guys, you watch us after a score. All of our coaches get in on the act. We're down at the 30-yard line, making sure that we celebrate with these guys when they do something good. What he's done is he's just given that feel good to this program, and he reminds me a lot of a coach that coached me. And when in my conversation with him, and so it's just coaches like that come in and they infuse that belief in guys, and then you start to see the program turn around immediately, and that's exactly what he's done.
To compare Ray Gates to the one and only Reginald Samples is a mouthful.
He's a great guy.
That's saying an awful lot. Meanwhile, for Euless Trinity, who you just saw their captains walk out on the field, almost time for the coin toss here at Crowley ISD Stadium. Their head coach, Aaron Lineweaver, you alluded to it earlier, has a last name that carries a ton of weight, not just in the Euless community, not just in the mid-cities, but across the state of Texas as a whole. Steve Lineweaver, Aaron's father, was the head coach of this Trinity program and built them into a powerhouse. 3 state championships, 05, 07, 09. They went back to the title game in 2010. They are used to having success, and having a Lineweaver leading the program once again just energizes the whole area. Hey, Trinity's going to be back if Aaron Lineweaver's leading the way.
But you know what, when we talk with Coach Lineweaver, he says as much as I'm a legacy here at Trinity, a lot of my players are their uncles, their fathers, families have played for the Trojans, and so they take so much pride in Trinity Trojan and football. So look, for Coach Lineweaver, as you said, it's another year for him at the helm, and he looks at this team and recognizes that he has all the key components to actually make a run.
You see Mike Ritchie, our referee this evening, gathering the captains at midfield for the coin toss. Euless Trinity, of course, will call the coin toss here momentarily, and we'll sort out who will receive the opening kickoff. And also, just moments away, one of the traditions in Texas high school football, the haka. Euless Trinity's pregame ritual, honoring the generations of Samoan and Tongan influence in their program and in the Euless community. And heck, we heard from Aaron Lineweaver earlier this week. He said they very intentionally went to the community this past summer and said, hey, let's make this better. Let's really get back to the roots of it. The very beginning of it is Samoan in its background. The remainder of it is Tongan in its background. And they made a distinct point to, hey, let's make this what it really, really should be. It's one of the great traditions in North Texas high school football, and it's one of those things that everybody knows, oh, that's Trinity. That's special.
Hey, he said we're going back to the original haka. So, I mean, hey, I don't know what that means, but I know anytime you go back to the original recipe, it's good. And so it's going to work for these guys, and it's all about their culture and their heritage. Everybody, no matter where you're from, does the haka, and they practice it, and they know what it means and why they're doing it. I think it's awesome. The first time I ever saw it, I said to myself, why didn't we do anything like this in high school? Because it really is awesome. Yeah. It's one of the wonderful things every time you come out to see a Euless Trinity football game.
So you may have noticed it there. Euless Trinity won the toss and deferred, so North Crowley will have the football first. So a chance to see this Panthers offense that is so electrifying, with Chris Jimerson leading the way, with Cornelius Warren and Ashton Searle, their 2 running backs, a little 2-headed monster there in the backfield. This offense is fun to watch, and you're gonna get a chance to see them right out of the gates here.
No, that running game that you said, Searle is a guy that may not be the one that you look forward to say, hey man, he's the bell cow in that backfield. But boy, has he been doing a lot of the heavy lifting. The guy that you have to look at is number 1, Warren. Warren is so good. He's so fast. And I'm telling you, for this North Crowley football team, if you just had a race, it's a lot of these guys that be at the finish line not even breathing hard because they are that fast.
Now making their way onto the field, the Euless Trinity Trojans, and their pregame haka dance is moments away here. They will have the unenviable task of trying to slow down Cornelius Warren and Ashton Searle in the backfield. Warren, a 4-star recruit, has a handful of offers already. Miami, Houston, UNT, Texas State, Texas Tech, the list goes on. And Ashton Searle has been really running the ball well for them. He's the bigger, more physical of the 2 running backs, and they really like what these 2 guys can do in the backfield.
Yeah, if you're a stat person, when you look at the stats, I promise you, Searle is going to be the guy that you say, wow, he's carrying a lot of the load, he's doing a lot of the dirty work, but it is also Warren who does a wonderful job as well. Little swagger there from North Crowley with just the walkout. Not even running out on the field. They are walking out on the field. I love it.
North Crowley walking out, and Euless Trinity preparing to do their traditional haka. We'll let you experience the scene here at Crowley ISD Stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen, North Crowley Nation, put your hands together for these future North Crowley Panthers.
There is an awful lot on the field tonight. Tradition, talent, and a chance to stamp yourself as the front runner in district play. Trinity and North Crowley. Kickoff is next on Friday Night Football.
The American Guard is Cadet Staff Sergeant Caden Bouncy.
Thanks, Delkus. the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Touchdown! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Jesuit Dallas versus Highland Park. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA Plus.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
From Crowley ISD Stadium in Fort Worth, a pivotal district clash in 3-6A as North Crowley hosts Euless Trinity on Friday Night Football. Head coaches tonight for Trinity in his second year, Aaron Lineweaver, the son of the legendary Trinity head coach Steve Lineweaver that led this program to 3 state championships. Now his son, the longtime coordinator at South Lake Carroll, taking over the family program. And for North Crowley, Ray Gates, also in his second year as the head coach of the Panthers, was on staff at Cedar Hill under Carlos Lynn prior to coming here to North Crowley. Played his high school ball at Shiner, a Comanche once upon a time. Big time running back for them back in the late 90s. And now roaming the sidelines for North Crowley, who will have the football first.
You know what was so impressive was him talking about the record of his high school team.
Yes.
And he's coach. I mean, how about that? Keeping up with your old squad, you're head coach of a ranked team, and you're still keeping up with what's going on in the town.
That is illustrative of how they do things down there in Shiner. The Shiner Comanches program is on a short list of some of the best programs across the state of Texas. And Ray Gates with strong ties. His team to receive from their own 6-yard line. That's Dion. They said don't kick it to Dion earlier this week when we were talking on the phone. And sure enough, up the sideline, LaMarcus Davis is going to take it 95 yards on the opening kickoff. Touchdown, North Crowley.
Coach Ray Gates literally said, do not kick it to Dion. He literally said that on our call.
Verbatim.
He said, if they want to give up an early score, they will kick it to this kid. They obviously didn't read the packaging on number 6 because he is a house call waiting to happen.
Verbatim. Don't kick it to Dion. And LaMarcus Davis is Dion, and it took 15 seconds for Ray Gates to be a prophet tonight here in Crowley.
Oh, man. I mean, as I'm sitting here watching it, I'm saying to myself, there's no way. Like, they're going to kick this away from this guy, and is, as advertised, as fast as well.
They're going to go for 2 here and get their offense a snap. Or at least they were considering that. They're going to call timeout here prior, and offensive coordinator Eli Reinhardt was frustrated about the fact that they had to burn a timeout here on this 2-point conversion try.
Yeah, don't see that too often, burning a timeout on the 2-point conversion, but obviously not the play that they had designed when they went to get the 2-point conversion. I love these North Crowley helmets representing the 817.
There is a bit of a stereotype about Tarrant County football and how it compares to Dallas County. Yeah, these kids can go.
No, they
whatever stereotype might be out there, they're proving that wrong. Up to 10th in the state rankings, 60+ points a game. They are here, and with a ton of talent. And they will, out of the timeout, go for 2 here. Jimerson, the quarterback, he motions out. They snap it to Searle. Now they give it back, and it's going to end up back in the hands of DeCorian West Davis for 2.
Well, first of all, let's just talk about the play design. And we start out with, I mean, look, we got so many moving parts going on here, but Jimerson starts out at quarterback, and it looks like then they're going to go with a wildcat formation. They pitch the ball back to him, and he throws the ball to DeCorian West Davis for a touchdown. That's one of those plays that you save. You don't waste that on the 2-point conversion, do you? Right.
Did Andy Reid draw that play up?
No.
That was wild.
Hey, that's the either Reid or the Bieniemy special, but that is an awesome play design.
So 95 yards to the house, courtesy of LaMarcus Davis. The 2-point conversion pass from Chris Jimerson to DeCorian West Davis. And 15 seconds into this football game, 8-0 North Crowley. One more look at the return from the kid they call Dion.
I mean, and he's just trotting. He hadn't even turned on the jets yet. And that's it. Hey, that's just great blocking. That's just great blocking by the Panthers. And setting it up perfect for Dion. He can do that all day. And just like that, now Trinity has to respond 15 seconds into this game.
Yeah. So North Crowley will kick it away. Ezekiel Moreno, the kicker for the Panthers. Sending it deep to Ethan Wright and JT Harris. And it's going to be Wright on a line from his own 15-yard line. Undercut at the 30. And out comes the Euless Trinity offense. They are going to try and ground and pound this football game and put it in the belly of number 20, Josh Bell, time and again tonight.
Yeah, that's the only game plan that they can approach the Panthers with. You could try and throw it, and they have some big play wide receivers, but what is going to be more advantageous for you is to pound that rock and pass if you need to. They have a huge offensive line. And they have, look, they have the personnel to do exactly what I'm talking about.
TJ Tupou, the quarterback, a junior, started last year as a sophomore, the first sophomore to start at quarterback for Trinity in 51 years, and he completes on the far side in the hands of Ethan Wright, and that will move the chains on the first play from scrimmage.
Hey, you come out, you start talking about, hey, we need to run the ball. What do? Look.
Right to the air.
Caution to the wind. We're not listening to you. That's why you're up in the booth and we're down here. Let's see how this works.
Rodney Bartholomew, the offensive coordinator. Listen, their head coach, Aaron Lineweaver, told us earlier this week, he said, listen, it's no big secret. We're going to come out and try to run the ball. That's what we do. They will run it here on the second play of the game. They put it in the hands of Josh Bell, and he's able to push the pile forward to the 44-yard line, a gain of 3.
Yeah, they are going to play the power game. You see them come out with, in the I formation, Buddy Leota as the fullback, 5'10", 210 pounds. So a big kid Well, I tell you, that Josh Bell, he's a big kid as well. They have him listed as 180 pounds. I doubt that.
Somebody call up Daryl Johnston and let him know this is the game he wants to watch. There's a fullback on the field, I formation, lead dives directly forward. This one, no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 7. But this is, if you liked football in the early 90s, this is the game for you. This is the team you want to follow, the Trinity Trojans.
You're dating me a little. Hey, you're dating me a little bit here, but I'm telling you, I love it. I absolutely love it. I see a quarterback under center with a fullback. It's like, oh, there's some kids here that have never seen this brand of football. If you're not, fans of the Euless Trinity program, but this is getting it done.
3rd down and 7, though, and they will go shotgun here. Tupou looking near side. He's got Wright. Wright's got some running room across midfield. I don't think he got enough, though, for the 1st down. The far side spot, though, did give it to him, and yes, just barely.
Oh, he's right at the marker, but you're right. They do give it to him. Like he was out
that felt like a
that.
favorable spot,
Absolutely.
But Trinity will take it. They may have given him an extra 1.5 yards by my eye with that spot into North Crowley territory. 1st and 10 for Trinity. Straight eye behind Tupou, handoff Bell, right guard right into the teeth of the defense. Immediately in his face was Kamari Davis.
Kamari Davis, a guy that they call Kano. And, man, he's more like Drano right there, getting right through and getting the tackle. You love this defensive front. Kamari Davis, they call him a little undersized. He's 6 foot, 230 pounds. But, man, he is a playmaker up front for them. And, man, you look across on the defensive line. Keep your eyes on number 95, Sterling Brooks, 6'5", 300 pounds.
On his way to TCU. This time it's going to be Wright to keep it himself up the near side. Wright's across the 35-yard line. Penetrating deeper into North Crowley territory and moving the chains once again.
This is the play design, Mike, that absolutely pushes the envelope for the Trinity Trojans. They're going to have to stay in this look. This is the winning formula for them. You go back to last year, you're talking about things being tight all the way up into the 4th quarter. That was when Trinity tried to go away from their identity and try to pass the ball around with North Crowley. You got to stay true to who you are, and that's running the ball.
Ethan Wright is their backup quarterback. They'll run him in this Wildcat look as well. This time he does hand to Bell around the right side. Give him 4 on the play. But that does add to what the defense has to deal with for North Crowley, having Wright out there taking the shotgun snap. It adds to the threat that North Crowley's got to contend with.
Yeah, you have to give them multiple looks. You can't stay comfortable because North Crowley, I think for a lot of people in DFW, they're really shocked to see North Crowley ascend so quickly. Yeah. So a lot of the names that are out there, it's not like these are guys that you've been following the freshman year. It's like all of a sudden these guys are on the map, and they are really fast as a defense. You look at their sub numbers, man, these guys can run. You got to get them running from sideline to sideline.
Bell on the handoff once again into the 2nd level, lowers his shoulder at the 20, and it's another 1st down for Euless Trinity. A nice drive here to answer the opening kickoff return for a touchdown from the Panthers.
Yeah, you just see them moving people around. This offensive line, man, is so big, so massive. And, man, this is the kind of matchup that you're a defensive guy. You live for these kinds of moments, those big bodies just banging into each other. This is, boy, Texas high school, I tell you, give me a helmet. This is it right here, Mike. This is it.
Harrison's going to come busting through the wall. Handoff Bell again. Tripped up, but not before he picks up 7 more.
If I come busting through the wall, somebody's going to yell, hey, Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, this is what we
want.
Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, I'm glad you got it. All right. With Josh Bell, you see it from Josh Bell right now, just concentrating on the A and B gap. Man, these power runs right now for Euless Trinity is what's up, man. You see how much of this clock they've drained. I think they got the ball right at 11:45, and that's the power of being able to run the ball. Now, what they have to do is they have to score.
2nd down and 3. Motion man is Leota. Handoff Bell right into the pile. DeCorian Thompson had a hold of him. maybe a gain of a yard. It's going to be 3rd and a long 2.
Keep your eyes on number 7, that Decorian Thompson.
Kamari Davis lost his helmet, so he'll have to come off for a snap. Jarique Freeman comes on in his place.
Decorian Thompson, a Lamar commit, 6'2", 265. Got his tough as nails inside, but good feet, very violent at the point of attack. Lamar is getting a good one.
3rd down and a deuce. Play action fake. Tupou looking for somewhere to go with the football. Has to try and take off and run with it. Cannot go anywhere. Ripped down out of bounds. It's going to be 4th down. He lost 2 or 3 on the play.
Great play design on the naked boot, on getting outside. And Tupou had a receiver open for a split second. He didn't trust the throw, so TJ didn't make it. And like you said, he's lost a few yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th and about eternity for them, 4th and 5.
I think they're making a last-minute switch here. They are going to kick the field goal. Andrew Gutierrez rushing on. They're going to have to hustle a little bit, down to 12 on the play clock. Should be plenty of time for them to get it off. Tupou the holder. It'll be a 31-yard field goal from the right hash. High snap, and they got it down, but no, it's pulled wide to the left. No good. There is a flag, though, on the play.
Personal foul on defense, number 18, hitting the center. Half a distance to the goal, automatic 1st down.
A huge penalty against Braylon Turner, contacting the center as Euless Trinity snapper Michael Safi sent it back to Tupou. So forget the missed field goal. A free 1st and goal for Euless Trinity. Spot the ball at the 8-yard line and a half the distance to the goal penalty.
Oh, that's a tough one for number 18, Braylon Turner, a guy that Coach Ray Gates glowed about as him being one of their leaders, a guy that is, you know, in the summertime, one of the hardest workers, just a great kid. Man, makes a bad mistake right there on the field goal.
3-year varsity starter. Handoff Bell. Nowhere to go once again, and again Kamari Davis in the middle. So was Decorian Thompson. Maybe a gain of a yard, barely.
And you see right there, man, these guys are not, look, they're using their speed for these big bodies inside for Euless Trinity. They recognize that, look, you can't get caught in a power game with this offensive line that weighs 360, 275, 322, 397. Okay? Try and run around this beef that they have up front.
2nd down and goal, right in there. A quarterback lost the snap. He's just going to have to pounce on it. The snap was maybe a little high, but really a snap that he should have caught and just bobbled it. It looked like maybe Bell got his hand on it a little bit.
Yeah, something about that exchange just wasn't right. But what you get right there is TJ Tupou. They're trying to mix these quarterbacks in and out just to supplement the speed. And you have Ethan Wright back there, who probably isn't as used to TJ at handling snaps.
And it sets up, after a disaster, 3rd and goal from the 16-yard line. Tupou back in there at quarterback, Bell to his right. 3 wide receivers to the left. Tupou, no, direct snap to Bell, and nowhere for him to go, and it's 4th down and long.
Yeah, Bell is a great running back, but he is running into a brick wall of Panther defenders out there waiting on him. Maybe not the play that they wanted. You want to get this guy out in space and at least allow him to be able to split defenders, but man, unless he's Eric Metcalf or someone like that, there's no way he's going to be able to get away from 3 Panthers at one time.
So after the penalty on the previous attempt from 31 that missed wide left, now they're going to try from 34 on the left hash. Snap is better, hold is down. Gutierrez, 34 from the left hash. This time is through, and Trinity does at least pay off the long drive with a 34-yard field goal.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, at least they moved it to the left hash, and obviously that's the sweet spot for their kicker. So maybe that was the play design, just to get it on the left hash. Because, I mean, they ran him out there by himself.
It did end up working out for him, and Trinity does get points on the board. 8-3 now in favor of North Crowley. And now Trinity has to kick the ball back to North Crowley. I'm thinking don't kick it to Dion.
Yeah, this got number 6, LaMarcus Davis. They call him Dion. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't kick it to this kid. He's already, not only does that go for kickoffs, don't punt it to him. So talk about an absolute weapon for the Panthers. And everyone in their district and in the state of Texas is watching out for this guy.
So Gutierrez, after he hit the 34-yarder, out to kick it away. In addition to Davis, Camden Hawkins deep as well. This time they drive it into the end zone and out for the touchback.
Stay tuned for the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by Golden Chick. Golden Chick is the perfect post-game destination. Come in and see why we say one taste and you're golden at Golden Chick.
And on that Friday Night Football halftime show, the Trinity Trojan Band under the direction of Chris Kanicki and the North Crowley High School Mighty Panther Band under the direction of Christopher Sample. That's all coming your way at halftime here at Crowley ISD Stadium. So the first true offensive snap of the day for this North Crowley offense, and the handoff goes off right guard. He did go down to a knee, did Ashton Searle, and it's going to be a loss of about a yard or so. He lost his footing there in the backfield.
Yeah, yes. Tried to play it off well enough, but that back judge saw it clearly and stopped the play.
So a loss of a yard. In fact, they're now saying 2, so second down and a dozen here for Chris Jimerson and company. Jimerson with 17 combined touchdowns on the year. He's got Searle to his right. Motion man is Decorian West Davis. Play action fake for Jimerson. Looking up the middle of the field into double coverage, but the catch is made anyway. And breaking away is Mason Ferguson. Ferguson will not be caught. 76 yards for the touchdown, and North Crowley with 2 lightning strikes in the first quarter alone.
This is what you call making it look easy from this connection from Jimerson to Ferguson. In between 2 defenders watching Mason Ferguson go up for it. This guy, 6'2", 180 pounds. Have him as a La Tech commit, a 3-star guy, but also has several offers on the table still. So, man, what a weapon. As right now, North Crowley, whether you know him or not, or whether you have committed any time to looking into this team, they will be dealt with.
95 yards on the kickoff return, now 76 yards on the touchdown hookup, and now they're going for 2 once again up top. What a grab. Hauled in for 2 more by Decorian West Davis, and it is 16-3. North Crowley with the lead. They have run 2 offensive plays from scrimmage.
This team is literally as advertised, Mike. We get a lot of people telling us about high-octane offenses, but my God, can they score any faster?
Another look at the touchdown hookup here from Jimerson over the middle to Mason Ferguson, and Trinity had 2 defenders there.
Good. After the try, we have dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, excessive celebration on number 5. That is first unsportsmanlike. On the kickoff.
So Julian Knox, the senior receiver from North Crowley, called for excessive celebration, evidently after the 2-point conversion try was converted upon. So that will set North Crowley up to kick the ball away back at their own 25-yard line.
I didn't see the excessive celebration, but I'm sure he probably said something to the effect of, man, another one. Another one. Wow.
It has happened quickly tonight for North Crowley.
Yes, it has. Man, how about that? Mike, we hear people tell us all the time, hey, they can score a lot. They're high octane, but I don't think it's real until you get into the stadium and see it for yourself. This Crowley team is very fast.
Mason Ferguson, a 3-star recruit. You mentioned a Louisiana Tech commit. Julian Knox, a 3-star recruit, a TCU commit to play corner at TCU just up the road in Fort Worth. DeCorian West Davis has got Division I offers rolling in. Cornelius Warren, their running back, a 4-star recruit with 7 offers. Ashton Searle starting to get the recruiting trail rolling as well. Chris Jimerson, their quarterback, has recruiters after him too. It is a very talented Panthers offense, and they've already got 16 points here early on. Nice return from Euless Trinity as Ethan Wright brings it out close to midfield. But Euless Trinity has found themselves in a hole, and quickly.
Yeah, good coverage right there from the Panthers, giving up that yardage after the personal foul. How many times have we seen those run back for a touchdown? And right there, the Trojans not able to get right to the 50-yard line.
The sophomore Thomas Cook with the tackle to run Ethan Wright out of bounds. 1st and 10 for Euless Trinity with Tupou back in there at quarterback. Straight eye behind him. Handoff Josh Bell. We're going to say that quite a bit today, and every once in a while this is going to happen. Bell into the second level. Bell up the sideline inside the 10. 1st and goal, Euless Trinity.
All right, Josh Bell, insert yourself into the conversation. We talk about the power running, but look at this offensive line opening up holes over here on the right side. Number 76, Toa Katoa. Man, massive young man. Okay.
6'5", 397 pounds, right in the center of your frame on the back side of the huddle. You can see him, big number 76, even through the huddle. He's enormous.
Yeah, they can see him.
And just a sophomore.
Yeah.
Started last year as a freshman. They are very excited about this kid. They know the offers are about to come pouring in for him.
Yeah, he's hard to miss.
Handoff Bell once again, trying to run behind Big Toa Katoa to the end zone. Touchdown, Euless Trinity.
Mike, let me tell you, number 76, the kid with his belly out. Look at him move this whole side over here. Boy, what a big offensive line, but that right side did a good job. I tell you, I love the answer. I love the answer
yes, sir.
From the Trojans. They come right back and get the score, and all of that set up by the personal foul, by the unsportsmanlike.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely adds to how easy that was for Trinity to answer right back. Those free 15 yards makes the whole process easier. Extra point is up and through. 16-10 and game on. North Crowley and Euless Trinity. Josh Bell finding the end zone, and Trinity is in it on Friday Night Football. Touchdown!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Jesuit Dallas versus Highland Park. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking your pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
16-10 our score. The 10th ranked team in the state in 6A, the North Crowley Panthers, with the lead on Euless Trinity here at Crowley ISD Stadium. Andrew Gutierrez set to kick it away for Trinity. The Trojans would like very much for him to pound this one into the end zone once again and not allow for a return. No dice, and here comes Dion. LaMarcus Davis already with a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. He's coming near sideline. He's got space again across midfield. Davis finally run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And we'll say for the fourth time today, don't kick it to Dion.
Jeez, don't kick it. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Oh, I mean, first, I don't understand. One, this kid is a sub 10 in the 100, and he doesn't even look like he's moving fast at all. Everybody is just eyes like saucers looking at number 6. You got to get this kid on the ground.
He found the cutback lane and into Trinity territory already. Right over the middle for the Corian West Davis. Breaks a tackle inside the 20. West Davis down to the 16 and finally covered up there.
You know, I want to say something positive about the offense for a chance, but we don't get much time to talk about it. You know, they're on the field and they're off the field. Before I get to my notes.
1st and 10 handoff. Ashton Searle running left side. Searle inside the 10. Flag behind the play is going to bring this one back, it would appear.
Nice run for the flag on the play. Let's see what happens here.
Number 2. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Big first down.
So Mason Ferguson, the wide receiver, hit with the holding penalty. Brings the football back to the 23-yard line, and it'll be first down and call it 16 or 17, it looks like. Jimerson to the air, rolling near side, has a man in the flat. It's Searle. Searle bursts his way forward inside the 15, down to the 10, earns back those penalty yards and a little bit more. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, but I'm just loving the play design right now from this Crowley offense. We saw them run a pretty exotic design for a 2-point conversion, but little things like this, getting your running backs out in the flat, just allowing them to create, just says a lot about what they believe these offensive weapons that they have can do.
Beg your pardon, 2nd down and 4. Handoff Searle up the middle. He's got the first down and then some. 1st and goal, North Crowley. This Panthers offense just feels inevitable right now.
No, it really does, and they're just pounding it very methodically, going down the field on this drive. But you can see what they're made of. They can put these long drives together if you make them.
Searle on the handoff, into the pile. Held up. No, they are going to say he's in. Wow. A late ruling from the near side head linesman, but yes, he's in. Touchdown was the signal on the near side. Everybody's confused. Even the referee is confused. The North Crowley coaches are confused, but the head linesman definitely signaled touchdown.
No, they did. Wow, it looks like his knee is down before it. Obvious knee down right here, but they're going to give him the touchdown.
I think that's a touchdown, and they are now lined up for the 2-point conversion. But even the folks in the scoreboard booth to the right of us are confused. This is the 2-point conversion try, though. Pitch to Searle. Now he's going to throw it into the end zone. That is quite creative. Mason Ferguson on the receiving end, and it's 24-10 North Crowley. Look at this play design.
And just like that, you think you're going to get a swinging gate of some sort, and they run a play out of it, and, man, they do it again with the score.
24 first-quarter points from North Crowley in a heartbeat. And they've opened up a 2-touchdown lead on Euless Trinity. Everybody was confused, though. Ray Gates has got his arms in the air saying, wait a second, the head linesman said touchdown. The referee was getting ready like it was going to be 3rd down and goal. The clock crew to our right was all confused looking at us like, what just happened there?
Don't ask us.
There was one official on the field that knew that there was a touchdown, and everybody else was confused for about 15 seconds there. But yes, indeed, touchdown North Crowley and a 24-10 lead.
Man, how about this environment for a Friday night south of Fort Worth? Man, this PA announcer, number one, if you can't get ready for a football game with this guy, and you don't have a pulse, and the DJ here, I mean, this is good stuff for a Friday night. Walking out, playing, I love it. Look at the crowd is going. Everybody's having a good time.
It is an environment here tonight. Pretty cool. And they are certainly enjoying what their North Crowley Panthers offense is doing so far.
You know, the secret is out. You know, when you put this game together, it was, when we talked about it, I'm like, you know, all right, Crowley had the 1 year, Mike. You know, are we anticipating that they're going to do it again? And obviously you had the foresight of knowing that, look, these guys are going to be really good, and man, they have not disappointed. The ranking maybe is a little low.
Little semi-onside kick there. Nice job to pounce on it by Euless Trinity's Zorian Palmore to secure possession for the Trojans. But this was, that had danger written all over it.
It sure did.
At the end of the run.
Let us know in the YouTube comments where you're tuning in from tonight. If you've got a favorite player on one of these two teams, if you're tuning in to see a certain Trojan or a certain Panther, let us know who your favorite player is out here tonight. And if you're tuning in, whether it's from there in Euless and in the mid-cities, if it's from out here in Fort Worth and the Crowley area, anywhere across the state of Texas, anywhere across the country. If you're a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle that's tuning in from across America, let us know where you're tuning in to watch Friday Night Football tonight.
See this offensive line get back to work. 45 seconds left here in the first quarter. It's going to be on them. Defensively, they've got to figure this out because the Panthers are just having their way going up and down the field. But, man, I think this offense is they're just trying to keep up with the points right now, and they're going to have to keep getting scored.
I think Aaron Lineweaver wants like a 12-minute and 45-second drive here coming up, run all the way through to the end of the second quarter. Throw far side there for Ethan Wright.
That would be interesting, but I'm sure that would be ideal for Coach.
A 26-play, 59-yard touchdown drive that spans 12 minutes and 45 seconds, and they score right before halftime. Anything they can do to keep that North Crowley offense off the field, up to and inclusive of not snapping the football before the end of this first quarter. Play clock is off. They'll let it run down, and 2nd down and 8 will be forthcoming at the start of quarter number 2. North Crowley's offense, my word, prime time ready here on Friday Night Football, and they lead it by 14 going to the second.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Back at North Crowley, 24-10 in favor of the Panthers after 1 quarter of play. Euless Trinity back with the football now and looking to engineer a long drive. A couple of YouTube comments. Jake Fitch says, go Trojans. J.J. Wentworth says that he can see North Crowley High School from his backyard. Pens by a Lad says he's watching from St. John's, Newfoundland. Cicada says watching from Lakeland, Florida. Patrick McDonald, DeSoto, Texas. Brian Lilly says he's watching from Nocona, Texas, rooting on his Trojans, says tease up. Roberto Morales says proud Trinity Trojan alum watching from Boston. Stephanie Cherry watching from Euless says tease up. Paul Trafford says Lucas Sanchez, the Trinity sophomore right end, is his favorite player. Karen button with a tease up. Brandon Baker says that he beat North Crowley in 8th grade 6-0 for a bi-district title in 04. He said they had a 6'1", 200-pound running back in 8th grade. Says it wasn't fun to tackle that kid. Yeah, I imagine not. Okay. 2nd down and 7, and Ethan Wright's going to keep it himself here up the middle. Ethan Wright into the 2nd level and 1st down for Trinity into North Crowley territory.
You know, they've had to try and balance both of these guys, Josh Bell and Ethan Wright. And I love the way that they use Ethan Wright. He lines up in the Wildcat, but also is a weapon, as you can see right there. They're going to have to switch these looks up a lot as you see this Panthers defense in the secondary, man. They are ready for whatever, and they have some big physical guys out there on the outside on an island.
Tupou under center. Hand off to the 2nd back, J.T. Harris. Ball came out. Ball's loose on the far side, and North Crowley pounces on it. Recovered by the Panthers' Aaron Bradshaw, and the Panthers defense makes a play.
Boy, I tell you, the last thing that the Trinity Trojans needed to happen was a fumble. And it looked like the ball came out as he was on the ground, but no dice. They're going to call a fumble and give the ball back to the Panthers. Man, not the way that you wanted to start this 2nd quarter. If you are the Euless Trinity Trojans, this defense, though, is going to have to figure out a way to get a stop.
Aaron Bradshaw with the turnover chain around his neck after he recovered the fumble. 1st and 10, North Crowley in Euless Trinity territory. Handoff Searle, running behind a lead blocker. Searle into the 2nd level, tripped up and finally gobbled up. That ball came out. Loose and recovered by Euless Trinity. Euless Trinity on the return. North Crowley gives the ball right back as DJ Isaac comes out of the pile with the football.
Unbelievable turn of events right here for Searle, and it looks like the only thing that's going to stop him is the turf. And at the last minute, the ball comes out, and boy, Trinity really fortunate right there to get the ball back.
One play, and they take it right back on the fumble. And that is a huge play because we have seen how effective this North Crowley offense has been in this 1st half.
That's one of those where you wipe your forehead and glad to get that one back.
So 1st and 10, the ball goes to Buddy Leota. He loses the football. Right back to North Crowley. Recovered on the fly by David Moore, and it's Panther football. 1, 2, 3 in a row.
You get a fumble. You get a fumble. Now you get a fumble, and you see Buddy. Buddy's used to blocking, man. Give me the ball, coach. And no, man, to his credit, a guy comes up from behind, punches the ball. This is good defense. Defenders are doing that. That punch technique is plaguing running backs all over. Nothing you can do about that, man. And obviously, missed opportunity for the Trojans.
And now the turnover chain goes to David Moore as he recovers the fumble. Back to work goes this North Crowley offense. Searle on the carry once again. Searle breaking loose. Searle to the end zone. 39 yards. Touchdown Panthers.
Ashton Searle, who had the fumble earlier, gets an opportunity to make amends for that mistake, and he is just running behind this big offensive line. Number 62 right guard Anthony Smith leading the way to get Searle into the end zone. And man, this is quick scoring at its finest right here. This offense is they're not wasting much time.
North Crowley's had a bunch of 1, 2, 3 play possessions. Now they go for 2 again. 2 easy, even on the tip. Hauled in by the Panthers' Jaden Shaw.
Just stop it.
And it's 32-10 North Crowley.
I mean, there's good, and then it's just this, right? Here's a rollout from Jimerson, throws the ball a little high, and what does he do? Tap it to himself? Come on now. Hey, you're just balling out of control when you're in a position right there. Just on a 2-point conversion.
They've scored 32 points in 13 minutes and 20 seconds.
Man.
This is a team that is averaging 60 plus a game this year, just north of 60 points per game. They're well on their way once again.
This is it. I mean, okay, this is very interesting, Mike, because if you're a 6A team and you don't know about North Crowley, they are going to sneak up on you. And there are a lot of teams that are trying to punch their ticket back to AT&T Stadium that this team is going to knock off.
They lost to Prosper last year in the regional semifinals. 35-21, if memory serves, was the final score. Yes, 35-21. And I think a lot of people, oh, well, North Crowley hung around and played a game with Prosper. That's pretty good, because Prosper then went and gave Duncanville a game. Yeah, these guys, to me, what's really worth watching, as again, they go with the onside kick here. And covered nicely. Euless Trinity has been up to the task. This time it's Jaden Williams with the recovery. I need to check on one thing. There are two teams that North Crowley would need to make the playoffs. Trinity is one of them. I'm failing to remember the other. It might be Crowley High that would knock North Crowley to 6A D2. If that happens,
you know a team?
Now we've got some real intrigue.
Yeah. Now I tell you what, this is just very interesting from the style that they play, and they just have all the intangibles and the things that you really just can't coach. They're fast. That speed that they have, man, you can see it right now. They are running by Euless Trinity.
Josh Bell trying to run right by all of North Crowley and picks up 13 on the first play of the series. Josh Bell's going to need to run for about 400 yards tonight if Euless Trinity's going to have a chance in this football game.
Yeah, not only that, he's running past blockers as we have a flag on the far side.
I think our officiating crew is still sorting out what the flag was for. Mike Ritchie and our Fort Worth football officials crew. Still an awful lot of confusion.
Well, they're marching off something, so just hadn't gotten the call yet.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 28 at the defense. Be 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
So that's going to be Thomas Cook from North Crowley that gets hit with the penalty, so tack 15 more yards onto the Josh Bell run, and suddenly the football's at the 28-yard line in North Crowley territory. So going back to that point from a moment ago, North Crowley would need Euless Trinity and LD Bell to both make the playoffs. If that were to happen, they would drop down to 6A D2, but those are the only two teams in the district with a larger enrollment number than the Panthers. Trinity making the playoffs seems like a likely outcome. They did a year ago in this district. They seem likely to be a playoff team again this year. LD Bell is a little bit of a tougher ask, not impossible in what is a district where there's a lot of teams that are kind of right around each other in terms of ability level. Bell being that fourth playoff team, possible. Right. If that happened and North Crowley ended up 6A D2, now we're talking.
Yeah, this is, you know, for a team like this, wait on the call.
Will the stadium announcers please turn the music off while play clock is running? Thank you.
And a big cheer from the far side Euless Trinity crowd at that direction. Pointed at the gentleman in the room directly to our right with the public address announcer and the music crew saying, we're not pumping music into the building while the play is happening. It's going to be a bit quieter now. Wright's going to keep it himself right up the middle. There was a flag on the play, but Ethan Wright takes it right up the middle for the touchdown. We'll see what the flag was for. It's going to be offside against the defense. Touchdown, Euless Trinity.
Now, we've seen them with the balance of Ethan Wright and come right back on an RPO. That opens up that A gap, and Ethan Wright goes literally untouched to the end zone. And it's been those unsportsmanlike conduct penalties that have plagued the Panthers and have given up those points to the Trinity Trojans.
26 yards on the run by Ethan Wright. The extra point up and through. And Trinity answers back 32-17. How many points are we going to see tonight? We've already got pushing 50 in 15 minutes worth of football.
That's what we're doing tonight. we're gonna guess the score and maybe how many plays is it gonna take the Panthers to score here. Let's go over under on 4 because
I know
that's how quick strike this offense is. In all respect to the Trinity Trojans, but what we're watching right now from the Panthers side, I think is very impressive. When you talk about the 6A, looking at, for those that don't understand it, Division I and Division II goes by enrollment. So if you get bumped down to Division II, that is because of your enrollment. The DeSoto Eagles,
I was going to say, DeSoto's the prime example of this.
Is the example of being able to be bumped down to Division II and that work out to you because, oh, by the way, from the same district, you had 2 state titles, D1 for Duncanville and D2 for DeSoto. So find that very fascinating in this case for North Crowley.
We will have Duncanville and DeSoto on our air just a little over a month from now, October 27th. Heckma Harrison is silently celebrating right now. My man, don't be bashful about it. I'm celebrating too. I can't wait for that football game.
I laid the breadcrumbs, and you just go right to it. I love it, Mike.
Buddy, that game, we've had a chance to do that game the last several years, but this year in particular, this is a little pop onside kick chance and nicely covered by North Crowley and Jaden Shaw. That is that game this year, Duncanville DeSoto. In all the years we've been doing, not just that game, I would argue games, period. In terms of, and who knows what the game itself will look like that Friday night in late October. But in terms of pregame hype that will be around that football game, number 1 and number 3 in the state as it currently stands in the rankings, and the 2 defending 6A state champs in D1 and D2. It's the biggest game we have ever had. It's one of the biggest games we've seen in the state of Texas in quite some time. Well, swing pass here on the outside. Another flag down on the far sideline as Searle took it for 8 or 9.
Yeah, that is a massive game.
Holding, offense, number 44, 10 yards on the spot of foul. Repeat first down.
Yeah, just that's a massive game, and man, the amount of stars that are going to be in that game. You talk 4-star, 5-stars galore across the board. Guys that are some of the most highest ranking players in the United States.
Yes.
These are not just in the state of Texas. Colin Simmons, you got some of the Decorian Moore. You got some great players for Duncanville. And this year we have a Booby.
Booby Feaster.
Don't you forget about that.
Booby Feaster, the top wide receiver in his class. Superstar in the making. Here goes Chris Jimerson. Speaking of superstars, darts his way out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Just shy of the line to gain. It'll be second down and a yard, but he earned back all that penalty yardage and then some.
I haven't figured out how they hand these stars out to kids, but for this kid not to have one or two or three.
He should, yeah.
He is like just special just watching him. His ability to run and put this offense arm, all of that, man. This is a special kid that has been running this offense for a few years now. Man, great talent.
Searle on the carry there, picks up the first down into Trinity territory. Goes this North Crowley offense. Handoff Searle. Flag on the play again. Pushes the pile all the way to the first down marker, but it looks like another hold is going to bring this thing back another time.
Nice run by number 8.
Holding. Offense number 62. 10 yards. Previous spot. First down.
That's the only thing that can stop this team. Penalties. Penalties is going to be the only thing that's going to stop this team. I tell you what, North Crowley, for this community, you guys have a special talent. This is a team that could win it all. They have the pieces and the speed in all the right places. It's big, fast, and physical. And the only thing that can stop them is those unsportsmanlike penalties and just boneheaded plays. Other than that, man, this is the talent right here. They got it at Crowley.
They are well oiled. This time, though, the run blitz for Trinity pays off. In the backfield was Peyton Miller, and it's going to be second down and very long.
Peyton Miller said, heck, I hear you talking, about these guys and glowing and giving out compliments, but I got these 4s on down here, baby, and I got a play to make, and he clocks in. I love it. Coming from the will linebacker spot is Peyton Miller.
This is the best chance we've seen Trinity have to get a stop. Second down and 24. Aaron Lineweaver's club needs to bow up here. A.J. Shepard's defense needs to make a play. They try and send the blitz once again. Jimerson trying to break contain up the near sideline. Darts out of bounds just across midfield. Picks up about half the yardage. It's going to be third down and call it 12.
That brings us to third and about 12.
And as easy as Chris Jimerson made that pickup of those yards, that looks like third and 12 is nothing. Yeah. For this team. And if they don't have a guy that can kick the PATs, do they have a punter? Is that even in the plans tonight, Mike? I'm not being facetious here.
Ezekiel Moreno is their kicker and punter, but they haven't had him do much other than that's going to be offside and too clear a path to the quarterback.
Let's see what happens.
This public address announcer is having fun tonight.
Before the play, it's timeout, Trinity.
Okay, so wipe the flag out altogether. Timeout called by Trinity. That's their first timeout taken here in the first half.
No, I understand exactly what Peyton Miller is doing. He's trying to time up that snap and get a sack. They're going to have to pull out all the stops here to try and stop this Crowley offense, because they are scoring at will. If not for the penalties, they're doing it at will. Stay tuned for the Friday Night Football halftime show sponsored by Golden Chick. Golden Chick is the perfect post-game destination. Come in and see why we say one taste and you're golden at Golden Chick.
Comment from Karen Bunton in the YouTube comment says, and just think many of the Trinity kids have been up since 3 a.m. for the TV interview. They've got to be exhausted. It's a fair point, a lot, especially like the band kids, some of the cheerleaders, the drill team. They were all out for daybreak on WFA this morning for a pep rally with Sean Giggy there. Low snap, Jimerson able to scoop it up. He's going to take off and try and run for it again. Jimerson's got the speed to get the sideline and the first down. Just bursts his way around Peyton Miller and moves the chains.
Oh, Peyton Miller is just If sometimes a guy is in front of you and he's just too good, you can't make a decision on how to get to him, and he just out-leverages him to the first down marker. I wasn't trying to be sarcastic if saying 3rd and 12 looks like an easy down for them, but look at how easy Chris makes this look.
That's how explosive this offense is. Anything, even 2nd and 24, is manageable. And again, a fresh set of downs here for the Panthers. 1st and 10 at the 28 in Trinity territory. Jimerson pressured from behind, but again, able to create time and space for himself. Looking downfield, chased by Miller, slung down out of bounds, and they're going to throw a flag as he dragged him down. They say too far out of bounds.
I don't know if that's a horse collar. It looked dangerous in the way he grabbed him. So
personal foul, defense, number 44, horse collar. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Good call by you, partner.
Yes, one of those plays, man, it's just dangerous. Guys can't get their legs out from under them. See a lot of injuries happen that way, and good job by Jimerson. Getting his feet out from under him on that tackle.
Yeah, when you get your hand into the back of that shoulder pad area right by the neck, it's a penalty that originated with the injury to Terrell Owens back in the day when he was with the Cowboys. I beg your pardon, when he was still with the Eagles at the time. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Handoff Searle. Oh my, that is too easy. Touchdown North Crowley, his 3rd of the day.
That is what they call a dog walk right there, and it's set up on the outside. Number 55, Henry Finneku, with the block and opening up an alley for Ashton Searle. Big old kid too, number 8, Ashton Searle, as you see him right there. It's an embarrassment of riches at the running back position.
He came into the game with 8 touchdown runs on the year. He's got 3 in this first half alone, and they're going to go for 2 once again and try and put 40 on the board. We're not even to the midway point of the 2nd quarter. Jimerson handoff Searle. He will have just enough to lower his shoulder and get in. 40-17. North Crowley with the lead and in control mid-2nd quarter on Friday Night Football.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
As we welcome you back to Crowley ISD Stadium. Year number 2 for this beautiful building. 8,000 seat capacity, and the home side is quite full. The visitor side, as you can see, a little sparser tonight, but obviously that's also, we're grading on a curve a bit because the Euless Trinity band has already vacated their position to get ready for halftime. So it looks a little trimmer than it would otherwise. But the home side, they're enjoying what they're seeing so far tonight. 40-17 in favor of North Crowley. It'll be Ethan Wright from his own 8-yard line. Wright's got himself a lane up the far sideline. Wright's got himself across midfield. Wright still on his feet across midfield. Inside the 40. What a run back from Ethan Wright. And Euless Trinity trying to find themselves an answer in a hurry.
Yeah, one thing you're not going to see from the Trinity Trojans is them give up. They're going to continue to fight. Ethan Wright, who had the last touchdown for the Trojans. You see that speed on display. It looked like a face mask there. Didn't get called, but either way, see Ethan Wright running with some juice on that kickoff.
Ethan Wright has been maybe Trinity's best player today, either him or Josh Bell, but Ethan Wright has done a lot of good work both on offense as well as on special teams, and that return brings them inside the 30-yard line to the 38, 1st and 10.
Have relied on and needed both of these guys' athleticism to even still be competitive in this game. But boy, this defense has to answer.
Handoff for Bell, but 4 black shirts just waiting for him.
Oh my God. Number 18, Braylon Turner. Look at him fill this hole. Boom. That's how you play the middle linebacker position, man. I love it. Got an opportunity to see a great linebacker last week, and here we are again, another great linebacker. Boy, linebacker play is in great hands.
That's a big-time linebacker play.
Oh, man.
I mean, you're talking about filling a hole against an offensive line that is huge and that can move. That's not an easy task, and he made that run and real quick for Josh Bell. This time, though, Bell up the sideline, and he's gotten the 1st down inside the 25. Undercut at the 2nd level, but he moves the chain.
A little misdirection here at first, but they come back with the counter to the left side and allow for Bell to capture the edge. And Euless Trinity just has to continue to run the ball.
Euless Trinity does have the football first to start the 2nd half after they won the toss and deferred today. They need points here. They need a stop. They need points then. They need points and more points. Bell with the handoff. Give him 6 on the carry. And in their accumulation of points, they need the clock to disappear.
Yes, and that's how you do it. I mean, you just continue to run and you power at this defense. And tell you see a guy like Josh Bell leave the game, but this Trinity Trojans attack, and they have historically been like this, Mike. This just didn't start today. Trinity is known for their power rushing game.
2nd down and 4. Big hole once again into the 2nd level. Bouncing off tacklers is J.T. Harris for the 18-yard touchdown run.
Look at this run from J.T. Harris. He's so excited. He knows that hole is there. He runs past his blocking to get the score. J.T. Harris fumbled just a minute ago in the beginning of the 2nd quarter, I believe, or end of the 1st. Comes back and gets the score. That's a good job by number 22.
Extra point is through, 40-24. And the question, Heckma Harrison, once again becomes, can Trinity finally get a stop? If they could ever somehow get a stop, create another turnover as we saw them do at one point earlier, that's going to be a necessity, and probably at least twice over if they want to get back into this football game. But they're at least, their offense has shown the ability to score and stay in touch.
And look, Trinity Trojans fan base, please forgive me, but the answer, Mike, is no, because this is a Panthers offense that has so many weapons, and man, they are spreading this Trinity Trojans defense thin, and they have no answers for these guys, whether it be in the air, and I don't still feel like they've even attacked them much in the air. It's been all on the ground, and they've done it with 4 or 5 different looks. So, I mean, this is a tough ask for that Trojans defense, and you know they're trying to get it done up front. They have a lot of big bodies up front, but man, this is the Panthers are just too fast.
You talked about the Trinity run game and the tradition that they have and the fact that they've done this for forever. Case in point, Ruben Shields in the YouTube comment says, Trinity class of 1980, watching live in General Santos City in the Philippines. Kickoff taken from his own 25-yard line by Decorian West Davis. Lost his helmet in the middle of all of that, was carrying his helmet as he was dragged down at the 35-yard line.
Man, glad he's okay. That was a dangerous play.
That is a hold your breath kind of moment.
I mean, yeah, man, this is, as you see it come off right there.
And somehow he caught it, I guess, because he ended up with it in his left hand.
Man, thank God that ended with him being able to not be injured, because that's a dangerous play.
He seems to be just fine, and there wasn't a big crashing blow, thankfully, at the end of that play. He will have to come off for a play because his helmet came off. And I would suggest get that helmet looked at a little bit, make sure it is ratchet strapped to your chin, because, man, that was thankfully not disastrous. 1st and 10, handoff Searle. Ashton Searle nearly got out the gates again. Another helmet comes off.
I see a lot of that, and I don't know what it is. The helmet, I don't know what it is, but you see a lot of guys in high school losing their helmets. It's a dangerous thing. Chin strap, don't know what it is. This partner, we've called a number of games where we see helmets lost all the time. So
that was Henry Faniku who lost his helmet, the left guard for North Crowley.
Offensive linemen love that. The helmet come off, they get a chance for everybody to see them.
Here comes Searle once again near side. Lots of space. Beg your pardon, that was LaMarcus Davis, the kid they called Dion, picking up the first down.
I mean, you need to use him. You got a guy with that kind of speed and vision. Give him an opportunity to carry the ball.
You see Euless Trinity kind of trying to rip at the football a little bit, trying to create some havoc. That's one way they could get themselves back in this football game. Nice form tackle there on Julian Knox by Tyson Thomas, but not before he picks up 5.
You see the TCU commit going to TCU to play cornerback. He's going to be a big corner kid, 6'3", 200 pounds.
That's what I saw. When Coach told us, yeah, no, he's going to TCU to play corner at 6'3", 195. Okay.
Yeah, obviously.
Is he going to be part of the Legion of Boom?
Yeah, right. This is what you want. These guys like this, of Julian Knox, they need to tell you about that 4.440 that he runs also. I want to mention that.
That'll help. That's some closing speed. 2nd down and 5. Jimerson to the air. Single coverage up the near sideline. Overshoots his man, Mason Ferguson, who's looking for a flag but won't get one.
Yeah, but you know what, Mason, I'm with you on that. There's a lot of hand fighting between both of these guys on that fade ball. Maybe having to throw that into a tight window, but give credit where credit is due to number 15. He's out there battling.
Caden Donaldson in coverage. Been battling back from injury, but back healthy for him this week on that Trinity side. But now they need to get a stop here on 3rd and 4, and 3rd and 4 is about to become 3rd and 9 because DeCorian West Davis thought he was supposed to be on the field, but he wasn't.
That drives coaches crazy. Nothing drives a coach crazy like illegal substitution.
Ray Gates just took himself about a 30-yard walk down the sideline in frustration over that penalty.
That's what they call a woosah walk. That's the woosah. You know Mike Leslie's in the building. The cameras are on him. Let's just walk this one out. Good God. But I tell you what, I've talked about this atmosphere that we're experiencing here at Crowley, but going back to that conversation that we had with Ray Gates, and just really an engaging guy that talked about how he got involved in high school football. He started out in the college ranks and just worked his way through. And man, his respect for Coach Carlos Lynn.
Yes.
That to me,
he spoke glowingly about Carlos Lynn, the former Cedar Hill coach, now the head coach at Crowley. Now they got to do battle within district together. That game will be on November 2nd, and that one will be high energy in this building, I'm sure.
And he said, you know, look, beforehand it's all love, but when we hit the field, I don't know.
Yep. But he raved about the man Carlos Lynn is, the way that Carlos Lynn went about his business while Lynn's son was going through a rare form of cancer. And he said, if you didn't know, you wouldn't know. Because Carlos Lynn was the same guy, came to work, did his job, led that program, led with grace. I mean, he could not have spoken more highly of Carlos Lynn. Over the middle, wide open, complete to Decorian West Davis. He makes a man miss. There was a flag thrown in the vicinity of holding. West Davis has got the first down for the moment, but we'll check the penalty. And sure enough.
10-yard penalty, repeat third down.
Let's go ahead and show you a little bit of the job that Ray Gates has done at North Crowley. Look at that record in the 10 years before he got here. 34-68. That includes an 0-10 season during that span. And in his very first year at the helm, 12-1 into the regional semifinals they went. Now they start 2023 4-0. They're ranked 10th in the state. He's done a marvelous job.
So when I did the comparison between him and Coach Reginald Samples, that was exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
It's called a culture shift. When you bring in a guy that is a changer, a change agent, and his ability to come in and find the guys and make the guys that are already in the program, in the community, start to believe in themselves. These players aren't transferring into Crowley. They were already there. Okay, he just took what was already there and made these guys believe in it. He brought in the coaches that poured into it. And you know what I loved about what he said? He says, look, if you are a coach that is going to love on these kids, then you can come and work for me. As it 4th and 12 here for Crowley.
And I think they're going to go for it here. It was 3rd and 19. They picked up 7. They're keeping their offense on the field, at least for the moment. They look to the near sideline to Ray Gates. Jimerson gets some directions, down to 6 on the play clock. Now they're going to call timeout. I think they were looking to see if they might have been able to steal a free 5 yards and make it 4th and 7, and then maybe they would have gone for it. But Eli Reinhardt, their offensive coordinator, calls for timeout, and they're at least going to talk through this a bit further.
They're going for it.
Minute 37 on the clock in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Trinity with 2 timeouts. Ball is right at the midfield stripe. Trinity gets the ball to start the second half. If Trinity can get a stop and score here before halftime, now there is a pathway for them back into this football game.
Man, that is huge.
But they need a stop here, or they need to get a maybe. If you're Aaron Lineweaver, are you on the sideline going, please punt?
Absolutely. I send the text.
Give me the football back.
I send the text to Gates right now. Man, come on. Do us right.
Ezekiel Moreno is the punter for North Crowley. He is not on the football field. 4th and 12 for the Panthers. Ball at midfield. They've got to get to the 38 on Trinity's side of the field to move the chains. 5 wide receiver set for Jimerson, 3 to his left. Dances out of pressure, looks downfield, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield. Knifing through to make the play for Euless Trinity is DJ Johnson. It's a turnover on downs, and Trinity's defense finally finds the stop they've been looking for.
And DJ Johnson, man, does a good job of not getting shook out of his spat, because look at Jimerson coming down on man. He is always going to make the first guy miss. Not able to get away from number 29 as he gets the Matumbo. Not today.
Minute 28 to work with for Euless Trinity. Ball at the 45-yard line in North Crowley territory. 2 timeouts for the Trojans. A chance here for TJ Tupou and company. They fake the toss. Tupou to throw it. Over the middle, complete. Lucas Sanchez on the receiving end, and they'll move the chains, a pickup of 12.
Man, great throw to your tight end. Faked out the entire Panther defense on the bootleg back to the wide side of the field, and man, that's a dot from TJ Tupou.
Lucas Sanchez with just his 2nd reception of the year. They'll go to the air again, near side. That's incomplete. Out of bounds was Caleb Robinson before he got a foot down.
We do have a player injured on the field.
A Euless Trinity player is down. Looks like it's Philip Tuipulotu, one of their offensive guards, who is down after the play. It concerned me for a moment to see the North Crowley players so fervently signaling, come out on the field, but it wasn't with regard to Tuipulotu. They were signaling to a teammate, but that drew my attention. I thought that they were trying to tell somebody that this was a really bad injury. It looks like Tuipulotu is going to be okay, already back up on his feet. Going to have to be helped off, but the reaction from the North Crowley players so feverishly saying, come here, come here, come here, it looked like it was a more concerning situation. Tuipulotu putting more pressure on that left leg with each passing step. The big 6'3", 322-pound junior, one of the leaders of their offensive line. We'll see if he's able to come back here in the second half.
And these trainers for the Trinity Trojans trying to help Tuipulotu up. And that was the undertaking, just getting the big man up on his feet. Goodness.
If you want to be a trainer in Texas high school football with the size of some of these kids, you need to get in the weight room yourself. Second down and 10. The little screen here, trying to set up Ethan Wright. Not a lot of running room, played well by the North Crowley defense. Give him 4 on the play. It's 3rd and 6.
How about that for the North Crowley defense? This is a great play design. They thought they had him for a quick second. They had blockers out in space. Thought that was going to be an opportunity for Ethan Wright maybe to get up in between those big blockers to try and get some positive yards. But 59 seconds left here in the 4th. And a big 3rd down coming up here for the Trojans.
Trinity still with those 2 timeouts here in the first half. 3rd down and 7. They've got to get to the 23. Misdirection handoff coming near side for Bell, but he's got nowhere to go. Strung out very nicely by the North Crowley defense.
You know, I love the misdirection, and I even love the counters when they bring the bodies back across the defense to get blocks. But sometimes, especially plays like this, Josh Bell, I know he's a big, strong kid, but he can't do it by himself. He's running into a wall of defenders. And for me, the Panthers, as I'm looking at this defense, they're just going too safety high, but they are playing on an island on the outside. And I know you're 21 seconds, 20 seconds left here. Maybe try and take a shot. Maybe that would have been an opportunity to take a shot there if you're Euless Trinity. But it looks like they're going to be okay with letting this one go down and maybe trying a long field goal.
It would be a 50-yard field goal from here, 49 to 50 yards, depending on where they put the spot down. I wonder if this wasn't just, hey, we're going to let the clock run down as far as we can and then just heave one toward the end zone. Because I don't know that Andrew Gutierrez has pounded some kickoffs in this first half, so perhaps they feel like he's got a big enough leg to hit a 50-yarder from the right hash.
I'm thinking professional. My mind.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean, listen, we've seen kickers this year who have hit 50-yarders in their career, and then that is, it's on the table as a possibility. North Crowley's got a kid, Ezekiel Moreno, who they feel like they trust out to about 40, and he's their backup kicker. They've got another young man on the roster that is their normal kicker that they feel like does have range out to about 50 yards. So it's not impossible, but in this circumstance, it certainly looks like TJ Tupou is going to try and heave one up there and make something happen in these final 8 seconds before halftime. He'll have 3 wide receivers to his left. The back in the backfield to his right is Josh Bell. Tupou is going to dump it off to Bell, who's got not a lot of room, and he will not be able to pick up the first down, but that does expire the final 8 seconds of the half, and we head to the break. 40-24 North Crowley. I hope you like points. I think more are coming after halftime. A 16-point lead for the Panthers at the break on Friday Night Football. ISD Stadium. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison back here with you in the broadcast booth. Almost time for the second half to get underway. Let's take you back through the opening half of this football game. There were some points between North Crowley and Euless Trinity as we roll the halftime highlights for you here, sponsored by Golden Chick. And sure enough, on the opening kickoff of the second half, of the first half, LaMarcus Davis took it 95 yards for the kickoff return for a touchdown, and North Crowley was off and running, and they kept it going. Their second actual offensive play from scrimmage, Heckma, Chris Jimerson to Mason Ferguson, 76 yards for the touchdown.
And it was one of those plays for Jimerson. He throws it into double coverage, but Mason Ferguson just really makes it look easy as he makes his pass right in between the numbers and the hash, well, in the middle of the field, and you have two Trinity Trojans there that still can't get a hand on number 2.
Euless Trinity would get on the board late first quarter. The touchdown run here from Josh Bell to make it 16-10.
Yeah, Josh Bell, the guy that we came in for Euless Trinity that we pointed out that needed to have a big game. He's done his part, but, man, he's going to need some help from his defense.
He didn't get much on this play here. Ashton Searle with his second touchdown run of the day. He's had 3 in this half, this one from 39 yards out.
I tell you what, Ashton Searle is a kid that's going to go to Golden Chick and get him a chicken sandwich after this one to celebrate, because he has been out here balling, not on a budget. This kid is absolutely awesome.
Ethan Wright, in addition to Josh Bell, had a big first half for Euless Trinity to keep them in this football game as Trinity has clawed their way back closer. That made it 32-17, but then North Crowley answered again. Searle with his third touchdown run of the half to make it 40-17. Trinity would score late in the second quarter to make it 40-24, and that is where the score stands right now. But Ashton Searle with a brilliant first half.
A big old kid, man, big and physical, but also fast. We've seen him just do a lot of dirty work in between the tackles, but when he decides to break it off outside, you see the size on this kid. Man, he is unstoppable out here, and I know they're trying to figure out a way to slow down number 8 in the second half.
So let's go ahead and roll right through to our halftime stats for these two teams, as it is maybe more even than you might have expected based on how that first half was played. The total yards fairly even. North Crowley certainly with the edge, 281 to 206. But the first down tally, I apologize, that's actually incorrect. North Crowley should have just 10, not 16. So Trinity actually with the edge in terms of first downs, 14 to 10 is what that should read. To me, though, the big thing to look at is the penalties. 8 on North Crowley. That's been a big part of what has kept Euless Trinity in this football game.
Been a big part of their bugaboo, but I tell you what, they are so quick strike. Even when they have those self-inflicted penalties, they make up with it with big runs. How many times did we see them in a 3rd and 12 or 2nd and 20, and they find a way to get a first down? I tell you, they're just so fast, so very aggressive, and they haven't, I don't believe they punted this entire game so far. So
they have not. No, they had the 1 4th and 12 that they decided to go for, and Trinity came through with the sack. They were not able to do anything with it offensively there in that final minute and a half or so of the second quarter. So the score remains 40-24. But yeah, North Crowley has not punted in the first half of this football game. I can't remember Trinity punting either, for that matter. As I'm thinking back through it, I don't believe Trinity has punted in the first half of this game.
Yeah, we've seen Trinity kick. We've seen a field goal attempt, but no punting so far. I think on both sides for Trinity. Well, for Trinity, it's out of necessity. They have to continue to keep the clock running. They have to continue to drive and get first downs. They are doing everything that they possibly can for this not to be a blowout, but something tells me this second half, with the way that Crowley has been applying the pressure, look, something's going to happen one way or another. It just feels like Crowley's going to go ahead and just take over this football game even more than they already have.
Trinity has the ball to start the third quarter. Yeah. A touchdown on that possession feels like a must. And they're still going to need at least 1, probably 2 more stops in this football game. And based on what we've seen so far, stops have been hard to come by for Trinity.
Yeah, a little bit.
Stops have been hard to come by for both teams, to be fair. We've seen 3 total turnovers in this game. They came on 3 successive plays, a Trinity fumble, a North Crowley fumble, and another Trinity fumble. Literally on 3 consecutive plays, they exchanged possession back and forth and back again. That's been about the only stops we've seen. The 4th down stop that Trinity had late in the second quarter is the only other stop I can think of. If you want to consider North Crowley forcing Euless Trinity to kick a field goal, which in this game, when there's 40 points on the board for North Crowley, kind of feels like a stop, that's it. That's all there's been. Trinity's going to have to create some turnovers in this second half if they're going to get back in.
And that's a big ask. I keep saying that with the way that Crowley's playing, they are so fast on the outside. You can tell that this defense is having a hard time keeping up with it. You saw there where Jameson throws the ball into double coverage, and that's what happens. But thanks for watching the Friday Night Football Halftime Show, sponsored by Golden Chip.
Time to kick it off here at the start of the third quarter. It is Ezekiel Moreno to kick it away for North Crowley. We've seen them kick some half onside kicks. Not this time, my goodness. Josh Bell just knocked off his feet by his own man. He and JT Harris both went for the football. Frankly, Heckman, they're lucky they didn't just hurt each other on that play.
Absolutely. Man, I don't know if either guy made the signal, whatever it is, for the Trojans to say, hey, it's my ball, but not great communication by those 2 guys, and fortunate to get that ball back. As you see, Coach Lineweaver trying to just implore his squad to get back in this game. Crowley been all over these guys. They missed an opportunity there at the end of the first half. You talked about it, about them getting that stop on 4th down and maybe being able to cash in with some points.
They'll start the second half with a handoff here for Bell. Put his hand in the turf to stay on his feet for an extra yard or so, and picks up 5 on the play.
That's going to be 2nd and 6.
It's a shoestring tackle to slow Bell down. It's a guy in open field. I'm telling you, he's one of those players that you just hate to see get a full head of steam, because once he does, man, he is really hard to bring down. But I credit this offense for also using both him and Ethan Wright in that first half. These guys have been coming at this Crowley defense in waves.
Again, the handoff to Bell on the counter. Hops his way across the first down marker and moves the chains. I like watching him run the football. There's something old school about the way he runs the ball.
No, he's special. He really is special. And you see it, and the reason why they get behind him, because he's one of those guys that he gets stronger as the game progresses. He hasn't taken any steps back. He's just one of those guys that seems to always be falling forward. And man, it's not for any lack of effort on the Panthers side, because they have been pressuring him.
Again, he finds a crease, and again, he bangs his way forward, this time for 7 on the first play of the series.
Yeah, you need that. And look at this offensive line, just the way that they are getting penetration and pushing this Panthers defense back. Love to see that, but also seeing these guys get out in space and push them back, and that's Buddy Leota, number 33, earlier with the fumble, but man, doing his job as a fullback on those ISO runs.
Buddy Leota's listed at 5'10", 210. He looks bigger than that. He is a load in there coming right at you. Handoff here, JT Harris trying to get the corner. Undercut on the far sideline by Amari Bartee. And he will be just short of the line again. It's going to be 3rd down.
JT, he's trying to get out on the edge and not able to get there. 5'8", 162. He thinks he has enough speed to get to the pylon, but man, look at that pursuit. The Panthers defense just basically cutting him off and not allowing him to get to the outside. Amari Bartee doing a wonderful job. A junior Olympian, and all you have on here is just fast.
Lightning fast. That will not be enough for the first down. In fact, it looks like Leota lost a little bit. 4th down and 1 for Trinity.
They try and go with the fullback belly, the dive play from the fullback, and I'm telling you, this Panthers defense is not going to allow Leota to be the guy that gets the first down.
Sterling Brooks, big number 95 in the middle, stood his man up and drove the line back into the chest of Leota. 4th and a yard, a must convert here for Trinity. They fumbled the football, loose on the deck, still loose way back behind the line of scrimmage. Scooped up by Decorian Thompson, and North Crowley creates the turnover on the 4th down.
That is the disaster that we were talking about at the end of the half that they absolutely did not need. Did not need to have a fumble. They needed something positive to happen. And the turnover chain is being shared by a lot of Panthers. Well, look at the excitement on that sideline by the Panthers. Everybody congratulating, getting in on the act. Well, there's been a lot of guys in that turnover chain today. It's a good job by this Panthers defense. And number 7, Decorian Thompson, the Lamar commit. As I've stated, man, guy playing real tough inside.
The 3rd time today they've created a turnover. I don't think Tupou ever actually had possession of that football. Lost it on the snap, and it just pinballed around in the backfield before Decorian Thompson scooped it up. A gain of 2 on the play, and the first play of the possession here for North Crowley.
This is the 2nd time we've seen a botched snap on the side of the Trinity Trojans. First it was Ethan Wright, and now TJ Tupou not able to hold on to the snap.
First time we've called Devin Dial's name tonight. He's out there on the right side. The direct snap, though, comes to Decorian West Davis. He's got nowhere to go. The shoulder laid into him by Trinity's Caden Donaldson, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9, a loss of a yard.
That's what you needed. You needed this defense to bow up and do a better job. And finally, number 15 coming through.
Chris Jimerson back in there, a quarterback after the Wildcat snap a moment ago. 3rd down and 9. He looks to the near side, and offensive coordinator Eli Reinhardt. 2 wides to his left, looking that way. End zone shot, tipped and nearly intercepted. Tyson Thomas had a chance at it. It falls harmlessly incomplete, but it's 4th and 9.
It's situations like that for the Trinity Trojans. They have to get the turnover. You get an opportunity on a ball like that, and I'm telling you, the Panthers have made them pay for every miscue, every fumble that they haven't gotten on has turned into points for Crowley as they keep their offense out here on the 4th and 9.
The 10th ranked North Crowley Panthers going for it here. They've got to get right to the 10-yard stripe to move the change. Jimerson with 3 wide receivers to the left. Motion man is Decorian West Davis. They come back near side trying to set up the tunnel screen. West Davis will not get there. Euless Trinity's defense gets the stop. A little bobble on the catch slowed him down just enough.
And that's a great play design. Look at the blockers out front, but man, this was all the interruption right there for number 30, outside linebacker Hunter Davis. Hunter smelling that out. That bubble screen, he finds himself out on the outside, and he just ruins everything for the Panthers. But I tell you what, this defense doesn't care. They want to get back out there anyway.
That is a huge stop for the Euless Trinity defense to give their offense a chance to get them back in this football game. It stays a 16-point game. It stays a 2-possession game, and the handoff goes to J.T. Harris. Nowhere for him to go. No gain on the play.
Yeah, J.T. Harris needs to take a page out of Josh Bell and just hit that hole and get up in there. Don't try to dance out on the outside, because this Crowley defense, man, they are fast and physical, finding a way to shut those angles down. I love what Josh Bell comes in as a change of pace back. Well, I mean, excuse me, J.T. Harris comes in as a change of pace back, but he's got to follow suit with hitting that hole and getting up the field and not trying to fool this Crowley defense by trying to bounce it out to the outside. They just got too much speed out on the edges. They're not going to allow you to do that.
So second down and 10. Tupou's going to be in shotgun. Harris motions out of the formation. Nowhere for Tupou to go, and he's slung down from behind for the sack. He nearly wrestled free, but the big paws of Kamari Davis scoop him up, and it's a loss of 5 on the play.
That guy Kano shows up again, number 30. Just a big physical kid. I'm telling you, man, these kids are just absolutely amazing. Kano, no gloves, no sleeves, nothing, just muscles. And this is naturally muscle. This kid has been doing push-ups since he was a month old. I mean, how do you get muscles like that? Jeez.
Third down and 13 officially. Handoff up the middle on the delay. Nowhere to go again for J.T. Harris, and it's fourth down. The defensive front for North Crowley up to the task.
Yeah, they are so stout. And look at just the way that these guys are swarming. We talked about the size of this Euless Trinity offensive line, and that being something that would change the complexity of this game on the front lines, man. But Crowley has not cared about the size of these guys. They are taking it to them up front, and right now imposing their will on the Trojans' offensive line.
I'm fairly sure this is our first punt we've seen today. Wobbler that goes right up the near hash and comes to a stop at the 49-yard line, down by Gordon Moatow. And out comes the North Crowley offense once again. So Euless Trinity has been given 2 opportunities with the football, down 2 possessions, Heckma Harrison, and a chance before them to drive down the field and get back into this game and make it a 1-possession game, and they haven't been able to do so now twice in a row.
Because what's changed now is that the adjustments have been made on the other side for North Crowley. They are shutting down this power offense of Trinity, and the guy that they're going at is Buddy Leota. What they're doing is taking Braylon Turner and saying, hey, meet number 33 in the hole wherever he is.
First play of the series, a handoff to Searle. Into the pile, a gain of 1 yard. And really, it's not just twice in a row, it's 3 times in a row for Trinity that they've had possession, if you include the one prior to the end of the second quarter, where they've had chances to make it, take your pick, 40-31, right. 40-32. You know, if they wanted to go for 2 and make it a 1-possession game, that option would be there on the table for them should they score a touchdown at some point before North Crowley scores again. But 3 times now they've had that chance, and 3 times it's gone begging. Second down and 9, play action fake for Jimerson. Over the middle, wide open is Lamarcus Davis, and Lamarcus Davis is out the backside, and he will not chase down Lamarcus Davis. 48 yards for the touchdown for North Crowley.
Number 12, Chris Jimerson, the number 6, Lamarcus Davis.
I tell you what, this kid is so special. And he doesn't look like he's moving fast at all.
I know.
I mean, his jog is world class. Okay, this is world class jogging. He's running past you, and he doesn't even look like he's at a full sprint. Man, that is special. That is a special talent right there, senior. And Lamarcus Davis, a guy that everybody calls Dion. And he has been prime time on this Friday.
Ezekiel Moreno's actually going to kick a PAT for the first time today.
What is going on?
North Crowley's not going to go for 2 here, I don't think. And they're not going to fake it, and it's blocked. Blocked and rolling around right below the center and fallen on by someone in that mess of humanity. So it will stay 46-24.
I understand, Coach Gates. I get it. But you got to keep trying. You got to keep trying. At some point, you're gonna need this guy. So make it easy on yourself.
But it's 46-24 in favor of North Crowley. Chris Jimerson to Lamarcus Davis. The 48-yard hookup over the middle. And North Crowley with a 22-point lead on Friday Night Football.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
As we welcome you back to Crowley ISD Stadium. 46-24 the tally in favor of the 10th ranked North Crowley Panthers. In control really all night long. Trinity is inched closer at times. Another short kickoff here. Fair catch called for and made by Trinity's Lamarie Smith. And back comes this Trojans offense. But they just haven't, Heckma Harrison, been able to truly get over the hump and make this a football game again, since it was really 8-3. North Crowley scored quick and put it on them in a hurry.
No, they really have. It has been the difference. We said enough about the speed and just how fast they are. We talk about Dion and guys like that a lot of their main dogs are not on the field, and a lot of those guys we hadn't even had an opportunity to call their name yet. So just think, man, once they get their full arsenal, if you're with North Crowley, this is a scary looking team.
Handoff for JT Harris. Picked up and pushed back. My word. Jonathan Cunningham, look at this.
Yeah, Cunningham just hey, that's a lot of sled work right there. The old school sled. It's just number 14 putting his shoulder into it and driving the guy back. This game has been full of big hits, full of big runs, and all of it has been one-sided for North Crowley. They have been the ones that have been delivering the boom this entire game.
That was literal decleater territory. That is a rare hit. Gain of 2 on the play. Tupou on the run, throws near side, complete. Ethan Wright on the receiving end, and he'll move the chains with a pickup of 10.
Now, I tell you, the guy that needed that was number 8, TJ Tupou. He needed something to happen right to get some more confidence, because this North Crowley defense has been all over these guys. And Ethan Wright, Johnny on the spot for the first down.
And this is where you get into danger territory for Trinity, because now they're having to do what they're not comfortable doing, and that's trying to throw the football. Another fumbled snap. This time the Trojans pounce back on top of it. Sanchez and Tupou able to combine on the recovery, but a wasted play there. A loss of maybe a foot or so. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And I guess Mapu Katoa, the center for Euless Trinity, has had a few problems with the exchange between him and TJ Tupou. It's not working, and we hadn't seen any Josh Bell. Well, there he is. Josh Bell is back in the game.
Second down and 11 officially. Handoff to Bell, makes the first man miss in the backfield, gets up the near side, darts out of bounds at the 45, a gain of 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 7.
And even though that's just a gain of 4, look at the patience there from Bell, allowing his blockers to get up front and split those guys. That's the difference between him and JT Harris. JT Harris is just, hey, right up in there, not allowing the play to develop. And I think for your young guy, you respect that. JT, just a sophomore.
Yes.
Obviously, he's
that's
going to learn.
part of the maturity.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But that's what I'm pointing out to JT is, look, I know for those young guys, you get in there, he's like, I want to play, I want to do it, I want to do it,
yeah.
You know. But, man, allow for those big guys to get up front and lead the way for you.
Yeah. 3rd down and 7. They'll swing it out near side for Bell, trying to get him the football in space, but only able to get to about the 48-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and about 5.
Yeah, here it is. And I think if you're Euless Trinity, you got to go for it here. You know,
no choice.
Yep, no choice to go but to go for it here. So they have been behind the 8 ball a lot And especially on these 4th down plays, especially if, like, look, Josh Bell knows that he needs to pick up a 1st down. And so getting out of bounds right there may not have been the best move. You want to try and battle for that 1st down, or at least try and make it shorter than a 4th and 5.
It is 4th and 5 now. Tupou looking far side. And Euless Trinity is going to burn a timeout.
No, this is perfect time. Make sure you execute, get the right play in.
Yeah.
We've seen on these plays them still, because sometimes you're just true to your identity and who you are. They're going to run a power play here. May try and go into your bag and see if you got something. I like the play that they ran in the first half. It was to Lucas Sanchez, their tight end, that they found out in the flat. An easy throw for TJ Tupou. I'm just trying to come up with something that's going to be positive for the Trinity Trojans so they can pick up a 1st down.
Aaron Lineweaver, the head coach of Euless Trinity. We talked about it off the top of the broadcast, but taking over a program that his father, Steve Lineweaver, built into this powerhouse. State titles in 2005, 2007, 2009. They went back to the title game again in 2010. Steve Lineweaver inducted into the Hall of Fame back in 2017, the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame. So he put the groundwork in place, and now I think there is some excitement in the Euless Trinity community. Hey, we got a Lineweaver leading the charge again. Let's go get it and build this thing back into what it once was. They are going to punt the football away here after that timeout. High snap, but able to haul it in and get the punt away was Andrew Gutierrez. Takes a backward bounce, though, back to the 32-yard line. But we talked to them earlier this week, and he talked about the fact that, you know, in year 1 at the helm, he said, we were babies. It was a lot of sophomores across the field, a sophomore starting quarterback in TJ Tupou, a sophomore running back in Josh Bell, sophomores all over the place on the offensive line. Mapu Katoa, Philip Tuipulotu, Toa Katoa was starting as a freshman. He said, we were babies. And they're starting to see now in year 2, as some of these guys are getting older and more experienced and understanding what they need to do better, they're seeing the growth. But tonight they're running up against the North Crowley team that very clearly deserves a spot in the top 10 in the 6A state rankings. This is a super talented football team.
Yeah, I co-signed that, but going back to Coach Lineweaver, you know, him calling his squad babies, he wasn't talking about that. Oh, wow, what a move. He wasn't talking about that figure, like literally those guys.
Yeah, no, not in a pejorative way. He just said we were really young and inexperienced. It wasn't a pejorative thing. This move from Jimerson is,
yikes,
man.
Yeah, no, that's just special. And that's just half joking, knowing where he's coming from, and Lineweaver being a name that the Euless Trinity community trusts, and that's number one. Bringing that appeal and filling back. Talk about the dynasties built in the state of Texas amongst Texas high school football teams. Euless Trinity is one of those teams that you've seen that because of their bruising style, them able to just, man, they were a hard team to play.
Yeah.
Under Coach Lineweaver. They were just so big, so physical, and so intimidating. Okay, they come out with the haka, and teams are just like, oh my God, what do we get ourselves into? And you know, they got this different uniforms, all black, the gray. I mean, they really look imposing when they come off of the bus. But just one of those teams that just grind you down, and teams did not want to face Euless Trinity. They're trying to get back to that. And man, it's going to take a lot of the foundation being put back into the squad to see them get back to those glory days.
Jimerson up the near sideline, picking up another 15 yards and another first down for North Crowley. He hasn't had to do all that much tonight. He's been more facilitator than anything else, but these are the kinds of things we showed you the play before kickoff, the play against Lovejoy a couple weeks ago. He is super talented. He's just, tonight he's been able to just kind of dink and dunk and find guys, and then has, if memory serves, two touchdown passes on the night. But it's been pretty easy for him to operate.
No, it really is a game for a guy like Jimerson. You know, sky is really the limit for him, because you see the game is really slowed down. He's able to go through his progressions, and when he doesn't have to be the guy to beat you and he can rely on his weapons, that's scary. because he is a guy that can take over a game and actually win it for his squad. So a special talent, man, and playoff football is what it's all about. I can't wait to see what he does with his opportunity in the playoffs.
He keeps again on this one. Flag on the play, though.
Holding offense, number 20. 10 yards for the first foul. 3 second down.
Jaden Shaw, the tight end, called for the hold. This is the one thing, if I'm Ray Gates and I'm looking at this game and I'm trying to diagnose, all right, how do we get better? The penalties are one facet of it. That's probably the fair way to put it. That might be it.
Yeah, that's it. That's what you look at, and that's what you say, look, guys, in order for us to get a Texas State title, we're going to have to cut down on these. We cannot have self-inflicted wounds, especially versus some of the best teams in the state of Texas.
Up the seam, they go to the guy who got the penalty. Shaw picks up the first down on 2nd and 20, a gain of 25.
Talk about being babies. Jaden Shaw, just a sophomore. Big kid going up for that ball and getting a first down. But I tell you, you look at this front line for the Crowley, that's where a lot of the good stuff is going to come from these guys. Number 54, John Turntine III. He is a sophomore. 6'5", 300 pounds. The future's bright.
The present is bright as well. 46-24, North Crowley with the lead after 3 on Friday Night Football.
Touchdown! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Jesuit Dallas versus Highland Park. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
I see a child in the studio.
It's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking your pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Falcon.
Oh, there's more than one child.
Thanks, Dalkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North
Yes.
Texas.
Whose kids are in the studio?
We bring the Delkus.
Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it? Oh, no, hold on, let me see something. It might be
Fourth quarter in Fort Worth, Crowley ISD Stadium. Year number 2 for this building. Tell you what, this one didn't have the same fanfare, I suppose, around it over the course of the last couple of years as it's opened up.
Okay, tell me this
I
is
don't know
better.
why not. This place is fantastic.
No, it's beautiful.
Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Izzy, some are calling this one of the worst kept secrets in Dallas City Hall.
Amazing.
Although Johnson's term isn't up until 2027, there's speculation that this move is calculated to set him up for the next move of his political career, whatever that may be.
Shout out to BSN's Obscure Games and the YouTube feed complaining that it's Dallas Jesuit,
You still want me
not
to talk?
Jesuit
All right,
Dallas.
I'm gonna
I
read
have
off
it on
this
good
stuff.
authority
Izzy,
from the
some are
folks
calling
at
this
Jesuit
one of the
Dallas.
worst.
They'd
I
like
can
to
hear
be
myself in
referred
my
to
ear,
as
actually.
Jesuit Dallas.
Oh, I was like,
beyond
why?
the grasp of the Corey and Wes Davis. That would
That
have been
helps.
a highlight
Do you
real
still want me to
grab
talk,
from
or
the senior.
can I stop talking now?
But
Okay,
instead
thank
it will be
Don't hold my
second down
button
and
down.
10.
Yeah, Wes Davis, that's a ball that is just out of the reach. Looked like it was originally a post corner set up.
Izzy, some are calling this one of the worst kept secrets
Chris
in Dallas
Jefferson.
City Hall. Although Johnson's
these
term
guys have
isn't
been
up until
working in that
2027, there's
7-on-7.
speculation that this move is a calculated
Second and 10, Davis
to set
in
him up for the
motion.
next phase of his political career,
Handoff
whatever
up
that
the
may
middle
be.
for Devin
And look, a lot of
Dimes.
people have pointed to some precursor signaling that this was going to happen, namely Johnson inviting Republican Senators Ted Cruz and John Cornyn to his inauguration back in June. In his announcement, which came in the form of an op-ed on the Wall Street Journal, Johnson said, quote, "I have no intention of
So
changing my
third
approach to
down
my
and
job
7
today.
here.
I am changing my party affiliation." And he attributed his decision to cities desperately needing mayors to champion law and order and practice fiscal conservatism. As far as reaction goes, many big-name Republicans applauding the flip. Governor Greg Abbott sharing he's proud to elect himself, Johnson, to the party of freedom, opportunity, and economic prosperity.
Jimerson over the middle, end zone shot, overshot his man Davis.
And it's fourth down. The Dallas County Democratic Party said in part, quote, this announcement was neither surprising nor unwelcome, but the voters of Dallas deserve to know where he stood before he ran for re-election as mayor. Again, I want to reiterate that Dallas city politics are nonpartisan, so ultimately the switch doesn't change much at City Hall, but it does place Dallas as the largest U.S. city
just an
with a Republican
by Chris Jimerson. He had missed many, but that was definitely a miss.
So that's going to bring up 4th down and 7 out of this timeout. Timeout taken by Euless Trinity. We've seen them come up with a pair of 4th down stops of North Crowley in this football game. One in the 3rd quarter, one just prior to halftime.
Yeah, they just... One thing that I love right now that I've seen all game long from Coach Ray Gates' squad is just the creativity on offense. How many times have we seen
some are calling this one of the worst kept secrets in Dallas City Hall. Although Johnson's term isn't up until 2027, there's speculation that this move is a calculated one to set him up for the next phase of his political career.
On a 3rd and 7.
We're seeing comments on the YouTube feed about audio bleeding through. We'll work on trying to solve that. Meanwhile, Chris Jimerson trying to work on solving this Trinity defense. Cuts up field and will have enough for the 1st down on 4th and 7. He moves the chains.
Just like that. You talked about it earlier about a guy not having to play over and above his ability here. But when you need it, Chris Jimerson can do exactly that and get you a 1st down.
Apologies for the audio issues that we're having. Hopefully they'll get that sorted back in-house here shortly. 1st and goal, handoff up the middle, nowhere to go for Searle. Helmets flying all over the place. A loss of about half a yard.
Guy that I was just talking about, number 54, John Turntime.
Okay, perfect.
6'5", 300. A sophomore. 4 D1 offers and a kid that wants to be a neurosurgeon. So when I asked Coach about that, I said a neurosurgeon at 6'5", 300 pounds. I like it. However, I just think he's going to continue to grow, and when Alabama comes knocking, the majors are going to be football. And that is the kind of size this kid has.
The Trojan that was down was DJ Isaac. He's back on his feet now, being helped off by the Trinity trainers, John Burnett and his staff. It'll be 2nd down and goal at the 10-yard line. Jimerson looking to the near sideline out of the timeout. 2nd and goal from the 10. He'll have 3 wide receivers to his left. 10 minutes to play in this one. Jimerson over the middle into a lot of traffic, incomplete. 3 white jerseys were in the area.
Now he will take an opportunity, will take that gamble and try to throw it in between 2 defenders, as he did just right there. Lucky that he doesn't get that one intercepted and taken back.
I love that.
So now it'll be 3rd down and goal.
This is a lot of motion out here now for the Panthers.
Davis and Wes Davis to the left of the formation. Now Searle motions out as well. Jimerson coming near side, fires end zone, too tall. And incomplete, it'll be 4th and goal.
Originally, it looked like that was going to be a run by Jimerson, and he launches a pass at the last minute that goes out of bounds.
So 4th and goal, and Trinity with a chance to make a stop here. North Crowley's going to go for it again. Jimerson with 3 wide receivers to his left. Searle in the sidecar to his right. Pressure at his face immediately. Jimerson evades it. Pressure again. Trying to get around the corner. Fires back of the end zone. Incomplete. And another 4th down stop for this Trinity Trojans defense.
That's not a half bad defensive stands right there down in the red zone. How about Chris Jimerson just trying to do his best Harry Houdini impersonation to get out of the pocket, avoid a sack, but not able to deliver the score on this drive for Crowley, and that's something we haven't said a lot of in this game. Great job by the Trojans.
So Trinity will take over, trailing by 22. The climb in front of them is steep with only 9:45 to play here in the 4th quarter. But they certainly needed a stop there if they were going to have any chance. Tupou's going to go to the air, slings it far side. They would have been better served to let that ball fall incomplete.
That was a dangerous throw. That definitely could have been disaster, and I'm with
well, you know,
you on that,
Izzy,
Mike.
some are
That may have
calling
been
this one of the worst kept secrets in Dallas City Hall. Although Johnson's term isn't up until 2027, there's speculation that this move is a calculated one to set him up for the next phase of his political career, whatever that may be. And look, a lot of people have pointed to some precursors signaling that this was going to happen, namely Johnson inviting Republican Senators Ted Cruz and John Cornyn to his inauguration back in June. That was an announcement which came in the form of an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. Johnson said, quote, "I have no intention of changing my approach to my job, but today I am changing my party affiliation." Now, he attributed his decision to cities desperately needing mayors to champion law and order and practice fiscal conservatism. As far as reaction goes, many big-name Republicans are applauding the flip. Governor Greg Abbott sharing he's proud to welcome Johnson to the party of freedom, opportunity, and economic prosperity.
Another direct snap there to Ethan Wright. Ethan Wright just doing everything he can, gets the ball back out to the 5-yard line, but as you can see, this defense for North Crowley, they are waiting on that simple RPO. They're not going to allow anything easy here, and it just seems like for Trinity, they haven't been able to get the big plays on this defense.
A third and 13 is less than ideal for this Euless Trinity offense. Play action fake for Tupou. Pressured, trying to evade escape the pocket rather, but not going to have enough space to pick up the 1st down. Out of bounds. There's a flag late in the play.
Don't know if something
Who's this going to be? Yeah, because there wasn't a whole lot of physical contact. We'll see what Mike Ritchie has to say.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on number 11. Defense. That is his first unsportsmanlike conduct. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Jabrell Asbury, a young man that they're excited about at North Crowley, coming back off an injury. They feel like he is a Division I talent, but I don't think it was the hit there, because the hit certainly looked to be clean. If they're flagging the hit, the hit didn't deserve a flag. So, and based on the timing of when the flag was thrown, to your point, I think somebody said a magic word.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's the only, and I'm nitpicking here, Mike. Let me just preface my statement. I'm nitpicking. Crowley, because I'm so impressed with them as a team and the way that they played offensively and defensively. But it's penalties like that I think you absolutely can't stand if you're Coach Ray Gates.
Apologies for the issues with the audio. We think anyway that we've got the issue fixed. There was a news reporter back at Channel 8 that was doing some run-throughs for her hit for the 10 o'clock newscast that bled through the broadcast. We do apologize for that, but I think we've got our lines uncrossed now as Bell takes the handoff and picks up a chunk. It's going to be 3rd down and about a yard.
Well, they got back to 3rd down so fast. Even after you get something positive from a penalty, here you are back at well, it looked like they're going to move the chains. Nope.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, okay. It's going to be
They've moved the ball back and forth now twice, but ultimately the football sits right at the 40-yard stripe, and they're saying 1st down.
Okay. How you feel about this North Crowley squad? I mean, you've seen a lot of football, Mike. You know the way the 6A is going to shape up. I mean, when you start to talk about them versus some of if they get an opportunity, let's just start from where they got left off last season with Prosper. Prosper is still a team that is top of the food chain.
Prosper's a team that will need to be reckoned with. We'll get a chance to see them late in the regular season when they face McKinney. I have not had a chance to see Prosper play. I've seen Prosper's early season results, and there have been some that have been very good. They beat Denton Geyer last week. I've seen some that were a little more head-scratching. The loss to Rockwall puzzled me a little bit after Rockwall lost to Jesuit, but Rockwall's still a good football team. Based on what we've seen so far, North Crowley's looking pretty tough in that matchup. Bell with the handoff, makes the first man miss, loses the football.
Just drops it.
Flag behind the play, everything has gone sideways. Did Thompson come out of that with the football in his hands?
First of all, it looked like a busted play from the beginning. And somehow they're able to track down Josh Bell. He doesn't have the ball.
He didn't even have the football. It was Tupou that kept it.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, no 95 defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Sterling Brooks hit with that one, and this has gotten pretty wheels off. And it brings me back to really the only critique that we have of North Crowley tonight, and that has been this kind of thing. They've had in the course of the play penalties. You want to obviously try and limit them, but they're understandable. Multiple times now tonight, post-play, unsportsmanlike penalties. That kind of thing you have to cut out. Because that's the kind of thing where in a tight, important playoff game will burn you. Handoff here for Bell. Another flag at the snap. It has been a busy night for Mike Ritchie.
Let's see what the flag is.
That's been the chorus of the night. Let's see what the flag is.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the bench for Crowley. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm absolutely positive. Probably one of the coaches, someone said something to this officiating staff, even though they've been dominating. You just can't have that. Those are the self-inflicted things that happen, especially when you play a good team. So they have to clean that up, and I'm sure Coach Gates is going to be more than up to the task to get that corrected.
No doubt, no doubt. But it has been a frustration for them all night long. Good ball there from Tupou to Logan Everly-Walter. And Trinity has moved the chains once again inside the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 12. Under 5 minutes to play here.
Mike, they've moved the chains with some help from Crowley. They've helped them out tremendously here on this drive.
Handoff Bell into the pile, falls forward to the 8. Looking ahead for Euless Trinity, they face Paschal on the 6th of October. Both these teams roll into their bye week after this. For Trinity, their 5 remaining games: Paschal, Chisholm Trail, both at home, at Crowley. So right back here at this stadium on October 20th. Then versus Weatherford and at LD Bell in their rivalry game to wrap up the season. Right up the middle goes Bell. Close, but just shy of the end zone. Helmet came flying off for Michael Safi on his way through. Lead blocking with no helmet. Also somewhat trying to avoid the pile, and wisely.
Look at the hair on this kid.
Yeah, that is.
Oh my God.
Get him a Head and Shoulders commercial.
I'm telling you, man, man, can you make a donation up here to a bald guy? I mean, come on, man. Some guys get all the way.
Under 4 to play. 1st and goal at the 1. Quarterback sneak. Waiting. Touchdown. TJ Tupou plunging ahead. And Trinity's got their first points of the second half.
Yeah, TJ Tupou just taking it upon himself down on the goal line. No sense in even risking a handoff. You've seen on several of their drives where there's been a miscommunication or just a box snap that has put them back even in goal line red zone situations. I like it. TJ Tupou taking the ball down on the 1 and just jumping over those big bodies inside and getting the score.
46-31 now our tally. You got to imagine an onside kick from Trinity is coming, because why not? They need so much to go right for them still over the final 3:42, but it's worth trying. Comment from Mr. Wilson in the YouTube comment says, Bell will finally beat Trinity this year. That is a mouthful, because it has been quite a while.
Now that's the one thing for Euless Trinity. They know that a lot of their legacy and a lot of that domination that they've had, hey, there are a lot of people still gunning for Euless Trinity and would love nothing other than to beat them. They have dominated teams like Crowley for a very long time. And finally, with Ray Gates coming in as the Crowley head coach, man, he has changed the culture. And by the way that this Crowley ISD stadium was rocking, he's changed the community as well. I mean, everybody is behind this team. And they have the little leaguers here in the stadium. I've seen a lot of the little league guys in here, a lot of the JV freshman team in the building, just showing these guys this is what you have to look forward to, because I promise you, on the other side for the Trinity Trojans, there are kids in that community that grow up wanting nothing other than to play varsity football at Euless Trinity.
Well, North Crowley with 10 guys within 10 yards of the 50-yard line where they can line up. Trinity's going to try the onside kick, coming near side. Second hop, chance at it. Oh boy, still loose, but pounced on by North Crowley's Galen McNeil at the last moment. Trinity had 2-3 chances at that one.
Galen, I don't know how old you are, but you need to play the lottery, because you are lucky. That ball bounced right back to him, and that, I mean, how do you see, I mean, you see that ball bounce like that, and you see the players running behind it on the onside kick. That looked like that was tailor-made for Trinity to get that onside kick. and get on top of it, and just like that, bounces into the hands of North Crowley.
Andrew Gutierrez with a tremendous onside kick that took 2 just perfect bounces, and a kid from Trinity got a hand on it.
Man.
But North Crowley able to jump on it, and that will just about end the football. It was Caden Donaldson from Trinity who got a hand on it as he lunged through up the near side. He wasn't going to be able to catch it. Like, this would have been a remarkable catch.
That's it.
But then he almost tipped it to himself. So very close Trinity was.
I ain't right in your. If you're a special teams coach, you really can't draw it up any better. Than that. And not to come down with it is just one of those things that your coach is just like, come on, guys. How many different ways and times can we work on an onside kick?
And that's illustrative of just how hard it is to recover an onside pick kick, because you need that perfect kick like you got from Gutierrez, but you also need the luck of very nearly Donaldson tipped it to himself, but instead just evades his grasp. And the moment he didn't pounce on it, here came North Crowley with the recovery. 2:23 on the clock. North Crowley will use their second timeout as they let the play clock wind down. It will be 3rd down and 6, so a chance here for Trinity to get their defense off the field, perhaps. They still have 2 timeouts remaining.
Tell you what, Mike, I'm adopting this team. This is a team that I'm going to be watching them.
Yes.
I'm going to pay attention to their scores from here on out. I want to make sure that I see these guys on down the road and see the success that they have. There's been a few teams along the way that I'm like, you know what, I'm going to keep my eye on them. Melissa being one of the teams. I've got my eye on Melissa. When we got an opportunity to go out there and see those guys, they have some players. I still haven't forgot about my guy Peanut.
3rd down and 6. Trinity has to get a stop here to try and get the football back. Handoff for Searle. Stacked up nicely by this defensive front from Trinity, and it's going to be 4th down and 7. Timeout called by the Trojans.
Boy, there's nothing they could do. There really was nothing they could do about that. They're trying to get out and get this 1st down, but man, there's nothing this squad can do.
I gotta think, as much as we've seen North Crowley go for it on 4th down in a couple of spots where it might be considered untraditional to do so, I'm thinking here you gotta punt the football away. Up 2 scores with 2:12 left, facing a 4th and 7 from your own 40-yard line. You can't make it easier for Trinity to get a quick score, and then you are in a hornet's nest, because if you do see an onside kick recovery, and so here comes Ezekiel Moreno to punt it away.
You got your wish, Mike. Here it is.
Well, I'm just saying, it was
finally the stop that Trinity was looking for, man. They needed it. And you know what? That was a proverbial deep breath on the sideline. Even though 2 minutes, 12 seconds left, they're just like, man, come on now. Don't go for it here.
Moreno's punt up the near sideline. On the bounce, fielded at the 23-yard line. Some space on the far side here for DJ Isaac out across the 40-yard line. A nice return. And it's going to be good field position here for Euless Trinity. $1:56 to work with. 1 timeout left for the Trojans, down 15.
Now, I believe both of these teams have a timeout apiece. So for Trinity, you just want to score as fast as you possibly can.
Earlier this season, Euless Trinity scored 13 points in the 4th quarter against Prosper. To come back and make that a 1-point game, they scored a touchdown with 3:12 left, and they scored a touchdown with 11 seconds left to make it 42-41. They went for 2 and missed and lost that game by 1, but they scored twice in the final 3 minutes and 12 seconds to take a 42-28 game that looked like it was kind of just coasting to the finish, and turned it into a game in a nervy moment there for Prosper late in that football game. Very nearly came back and won that game. They've still got 15 points to make up here with $1:56 left, but Trinity's got some experience with this kind of thing, so this may not be just quite over yet. Over the middle, complete in the hands of Logan Everly Walter, picks up the first down. They're into North Crowley territory. Oh, we got some disagreements on the near sideline. Caleb Robinson from Euless Trinity, who you see now being ushered back to the sideline by Aaron Lineweaver. It looked like he and Ray Gates were the two that were talking to one another.
It's been a tough night. It's been a tough night tonight for Euless Trinity, and frustrating. I mean, it's really nothing you can do about it. Finally, somebody having a little fight here.
Yeah, that was something.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 14 in the defense, throwing a punt. He is disqualified. 15 yards.
I don't know if they mean 14 by
I
the
think
defense.
he means 14 of the offense.
Okay.
I think, because it was 14 Caleb Robinson that got ushered to the other side. And it certainly looks like they're about to walk backward.
Yeah, he had a mix up between offense and defense.
Yeah.
It's been that kind of night. He's thrown a lot of flags tonight.
He's been on that microphone more than a few times.
Yeah, he's been busy.
And it is going against Caleb Robinson, number 14 of the offense. And that's going to walk Trinity all the way back to their own 37-yard line. Because the penalty was after the play, but prior to 1st and 10, it doesn't become 1st and 25. They do bring the sticks back as well. Tupou will have to go to the air here. Steps out of bounds on the far sideline. Minute 33 to play.
I tell you, TJ Tupou, he will definitely come into his own as a leader of this team, but also just be better at his decision making. Seen a couple times out here where he's had wide receivers open, he could make a throw, and he's just indecisive with the ball, maybe not sure of what he's seeing or sure if the play is actually open.
Tupou coming near side, makes a man miss. That's going to be enough for the first down back into North Crowley territory. Clock will stop as they set the sticks.
And you got a player down on the field for North Crowley. Got to get up and get off, and that's Corey and Thompson still dealing with cramps.
So the clock is staying held here at a minute 21 as Thompson makes his way off and they reset for 1st and 10. Trinity with a mountain to climb. Quick throw far side, and it's intercepted. And that will put this thing to bed. Up the far sideline goes North Crowley, and he will find the end zone. Thomas Cook Jr. with the pick six to finally put this one on ice. And North Crowley's hung 52 on tonight.
Thomas Cook Jr. must have been watching Sauce Gardner last weekend against the Cowboys, missing opportunity for the pick six. He says, I'm not going to make that same mistake. Tell you what you do, though, Thomas. You send a Christmas gift to TJ Tupou because that was one that he gifted you.
Tupou trying to make something happen there. Down 15 in a have to throw for it situation. but airmailed that one a little bit, and Thomas Cook Jr. there to pick it off and return it 62 yards for the touchdown. The extra point is up and through from Ezekiel Moreno, and it's 53-31 in favor of North Crowley. One more look at the pick six from Thomas Cook Jr.
Yeah, that's just an overthrown ball there from TJ Tupou, and easy. When you throw that ball out to the far side like that, out in between the numbers, there's nothing, you don't have anyone out there that can get out there fast enough to get an angle on the defensive back once he catches it. And coaches will warn quarterbacks about that time and time again. You have to be accurate when you throw that ball out there. Be strong enough to deliver it without the defender getting there or getting an interception. And like you said, that's the curtain call.
And they're dancing on the North Crowley sideline.
Just let you know, it's done.
David Moore and Jonathan Cunningham dancing together there for North Crowley as they have taken a 53-31 lead on the Thomas Cook Jr. pick six to put this one away. North Crowley about to move to 5-0 on the year, stamping themselves truly as one of the contenders statewide in 6A.
You know, this is a special team, man. These guys are really special, and they play so well together. The speed that they have is really just off the charts. The speed that they have as a team is man, this is a team that I can't wait to see them match up best on best.
Yeah.
To see how they match up with the likes of the DeSotos and the Duncanvilles. And I know those things will come later, but they'll get an opportunity to play a Prosper. And look, if Prosper is giving up those leads like that to Trinity, look, you come up against this North Crowley squad. This is going to be different. So, you know, great anticipation for what this team is going to do. Other than that, man, just a great environment for football out here, man. So glad we had an opportunity to come out here and show some love.
I do not envy anybody who's got to come here to play a playoff game against North Crowley. This place got bumping earlier tonight, and that's for a mid-September game. This place can get loud.
Had the referee say, "Could you please turn the music down?" Please turn it down. Okay. Yeah, they had the music pumping in this stadium well into the play clock, man. This is, like I said, awesome atmosphere, beautiful, beautiful complex.
It really is.
Right.
I can't believe there hasn't been more fanfare about this place.
There will be. And this team right here is going to be the reason why they're going to come out to see these guys. They are special.
63 seconds left in this one as JT Harris takes the handoff. He'll have enough for a first down and then some out to the midfield stripe.
Sophomore.
This Euless Trinity team, listen, they're not on North Crowley's level right now. That much has been made clear, obviously, over the course of these 4 quarters worth of play. But TJ Tupou is going to be a senior next year. Josh Bell is going to be a senior next year. JT Harris is going to be a junior next year. Ethan Wright's going to be a senior next year. A lot of this offensive line's going to be back next year. Aaron Lineweaver's starting to get this thing cranked up. They're still kind of in the infancy of the whole process. But you can see that you can kind of read the tea leaves to where Trinity gets themselves back into where we've seen them be in the, and that doesn't necessarily mean state championships, but even just who they were a couple years ago when they had Ollie Gordon, who was fantastic.
Yes.
And they were a major contender in 6A. Getting back to that point, which is arguably you could say that's about where North Crowley is right now. They can get back to that space, I think, pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, one of these teams has tradition and legacy, and the other one is trying to build that. And so when I look at Euless Trinity, it's entrenched in these guys to get back into it. They like we were just out in Salina, and what did we see in Salina? We knew about that history and that legacy of a team that has won state titles and have completely dominated. Euless Trinity has tape, and it ain't in black and white. Yeah. They know what it takes to be back in the state title, and they have the pieces to do it. It's going to be a great team, but boy, they came up against a buzzsaw today in North Crowley.
North Crowley is for real. capital F, capital R, they have got dudes. 53-31 victors tonight here inside Crowley ISD Stadium. Chris Jimerson throwing for a couple of touchdown passes to LaMarcus Davis and Mason Ferguson. Ashton Searle with 3 touchdown runs in the middle of it all. LaMarcus Davis opened up the scoring with the 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. North Crowley has got speed to burn, and they showed it off all night tonight, Heckma Harrison.
No, they did, and come back to this tape. If you're scouting this North Crowley squad, look at it and study, examine it, and you won't see a lot of weaknesses in this team other than maybe some of those unsportsmanlike penalties. It's a dangerous squad, and as you alluded to earlier, if I'm in the playoffs, this isn't a place that I want to come and play. It's a trap if you have to come here because this team is loaded. They have a lot of speed in all the right places, and they are young. So just as you pointed out about Euless Trinity and the guys that they're going to have come back, Jimerson's coming back too. And they got a lot of
Cornelius
guys.
Warren, who we didn't see any of tonight, but super talented, 4-star prospect. He's going to get back in the fold here for them at some point, and he and Ashton Searle together in the backfield, that is a nightmare. That is nightmare fuel for defensive coordinators if you got both of those guys out there running the football. And Mason Ferguson, Julian Knox, Decorian West Davis on the outside. The weapons that Jimerson has to play with, Jaden Shaw, the sophomore tight end that we saw make a big catch over the middle. They have got weapons on weapons. Slowing this team down is going to be very difficult.
Yeah, well, first of all, you can't start with anything that goes with slow with North Crowley because of, like, even when we talk with Coach Gates was talking about guys that ran 10-4s, okay, sub 10, like, this is all across the board, and this is not just at one position or one particular guy. This is 5 or 6 guys that are running this fast on your team. So this is a 4x100 style team that can attack you in waves and attack you from different angles. So look, this is as we go down the stretch, Mike, let's make sure that we circle, highlight, and underline North Crowley.
Yeah, they're the truth, man. Yeah. I'm coming away from this game significantly impressed with what they can do, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And they feel like they're still getting healthier on the defensive side of the ball. This is a team that has big time potential. And I'm just saying, if somehow they end up in 6A D2, now we really got ourselves a conversation.
No,
because then it gets, oh boy.
Hey, this is a team that teams that have been happy to sneak into 6A D2 won't be happy that they're there also. So, yeah, this is a dangerous squad.
53-31, our final score. North Crowley with the win. The number 10 team in the state moves to 5-0 on the year and 2-0 in District 3-6A. Euless Trinity falls to 2-3 on the year, 1-1. In District 3-6A. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, Director Clay Marshall, photographers Graham Rayner and Guy Opper, digital coordinators Pete Friedman, Jay Wallace, and Paul Wedding, graphics coordinator Emil Miralda, and the one and only Heckma Harrison alongside. I'm Mike Leslie. So long from Fort Worth. The final score, one final time, 53-31. North Crowley with the win. All our Friday Night Football broadcasts stream live and are archived on the WFAA YouTube channel and on the WFAA Plus app. This has been a presentation of WFAA TV.